And we are live. Fanboy Modeling School. Welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis in HD, and I'm here with my boy
Steve, real name no gimmicks, also in HD.
Mr. Gimmickless. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you coconut pilled?
I don't know what that means.
And this is me asking from the bottom of my heart, everyone out here listening to Fanboy Modeling School, whether you're listening to our rewind over on Riz Radio or you're here in one of our live streams, are you coconut pilled is the new Democratic catchphrase / hashtag that's asking you if you are down with Kamala Harris. And you got an answer for me, brother?
I am not coconut pilled, nor am I red pilled, black pilled, olive pilled. I am a pill all unto himself.
You are a pill, I will say that. And for those who don't know, that's an old school joke for someone who's a handful.
I need a pill.
But no, I'm saying you're not red pill.
No, I'm not.
You're going to sit here and tell me you're not red pill.
Well, which red pill are you talking about?
The one that hates women.
No, I don't hate women, bro.
Obviously, that's an exaggeration. That's hyperbole for the fans out there.
Right.
I'm just wondering. I feel that you have, and no offense to categorize you and to tell you who you are straight to your face, right? But I feel like you have red pill tendencies.
No, you know what it is? There's overlap, and this is something that happens, right? There's overlap between some of the views I have and some of the views that the red pill guys have. But as you know, the only time I've ever come across as red pill is when people misrepresent the view of another person. You know, that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if you know that about me, but say, for instance, I can be a critic of Islam, but if no one else is going to represent their views accurately and I'm on a panel with a bunch of people on a platform, I'm going to make sure that we represent the op correctly. So there's some overlap. But no, I'm not red pill. I had a deep appreciation for Kevin Samuels. Reminded me of an uncle I had once. But no, those guys don't want me with them, man. Because I'm the guy that's going to ask a question like, so everyone here is an alpha? You telling me that guy over there is an alpha? The one with his shirt unbuttoned with the taco meat out, he's an alpha too? I'm like, no.
Well, if he's voting red, then he must be an alpha. Because only betas vote Democrat. But this is just a reminder to like, share, and subscribe. Do all the good things no matter what app you're on. We're app whores, so we're pretty much on everything. You're probably listening to us on like Breakout right now or something strange like that. Over in the chat, Matt Cat in the house, on time, love it. Hail to the chat, he says.
Hail to the chat.
And hail to Mantis and Steve. What up?
What up?
Shaolin Iceboxer. And of course, we've got the Pink Princess Bex over here.
What up, family?
We need to throw all these drugs away, laugh out loud. Oh, like all the pills. Even the coconut pill. And so, Shaolin, I want to ask you, and I want to ask actually everyone in the chat, are you coconut pilled? Because there is a huge divide going on in this country, whether she's a good candidate or she's a bad candidate.
Ooh, you know what's crazy about this whole thing, man? Like crazy about the whole Kamala. First of all, how the hell are you, bro?
I'm doing good. I don't know if you know this, but life is tiring.
Yes.
It's just, I open up an email and I'm like, but other than that, I'm good.
Bro, here's the thing, man, right? Life is tiring, and it's a constant uphill battle. Always filled with pain, glass in your shoes, the pebble that gets underneath your sock to your toenail, pushes the nail in between. That's life, bro. Life is a condom that broke on a bad night. That's what life is. You need to be prepared to take responsibility for that.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Is this a metaphor for a condom or a metaphor for a splinter?
It's a metaphor for everything, my friend. Crazy times we're living in, man. Old man Biden ousted by his own party, the party of democracy.
And although I put Kamala on our cover, I put Kamala in our title, she's actually not what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about Biden because I don't know if you knew this. There is a conspiracy brewing
that he's
that
dead.
Biden is missing.
Well, he was just walking up a plane today.
Well, then he's not missing. Why is everyone saying he's missing? If you look at conservatude right now,
Right. Yeah,
all the conservative YouTubers like have this conspiracy theory that after he officially quit, they made him vanish.
yeah. There was one that there was one going around that he was just straight up dead. He died from COVID.
right. And that's because okay. So here's what it is. For those who don't know, his resignation letter from the presidency, from running for presidency, has a fake signature. That is, they actually compared the signatures. It's not his signature.
Really?
It's clearly not his signature.
I did not know that, man. I mean, here's the crazy thing about all the conspiratorial stuff, which I love, right? It amazes me, though. It amazes me that at this point, no one's acknowledging the fact that Alex Jones got it right. No one's acknowledging.
Yo, I saw someone made a video. This is for real. Someone made a video that said, asking the question, is Alex Jones psychic?
Right.
Everything he said so far has had on some level has come true.
Right.
I don't know if I want to give that guy credit.
Bro, here's the thing about it, man.
I mean, all that stuff he said about Sandy Hook, in my opinion, just went too far. So.
Oh yeah. But it's funny because when you look at what he said about Sandy Hook and then you juxtapose that to the way some of the liberals were behaving when Trump got shot, it's almost the same thing, right? Like it was nearly the same InfoWar level of, we don't know if he actually got shot. We're not entirely sure that, he didn't have something to do with it. And I'm like, wow, they're really treading on that same level, man. They're heading that way. It's between Alex Jones, though, and The Simpsons. The Simpsons been getting shit right for years, man.
So, yeah, that means Trump is going to win, and then Lisa Simpson will be the president after him.
Who the hell is that? Oh, Lisa Simpson
from The Simpsons. Here's what it is. In The Simpsons, mad years before Trump was even a politician,
right?
They go into the future, and Lisa Simpson, when she's adult, she becomes the first woman president.
Right.
And she's and the people need her because the country has gone bankrupt because Donald Trump has put us in bankruptcy when he was president before her.
Oh my goodness!
And it was mad years before he even decided to run.
They've been calling it, man. They even called the Golden Steps, didn't they? When he
yes, and they showed him ascending the steps. Yeah.
Bro, it's such a crazy time, man. As you know, I covered some of this briefly over on Mic Check, man. Music for the Apocalypse. And it's just amazing to me, man, how many people were so distraught. Like, we got Van Jones crying nearly every day, man.
I was upset, but not because of Biden, but that a black man would weep tears for a mainstream rich white dude. Not dying. Not vanishing, not getting his ear shot off, for simply resigning from a job.
Right. And not even resigning from a job, saying I'm not like pursuing employment another year, man. How many people wish they were financially in a place where they could look at their job, pin a letter like, I won't be coming back next year. Like, I won't be coming back.
I think literally everyone, basically, working is a plague.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you work at a place you like I like my job, but I hate working.
Right. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that, bro. Amen to that on a real level, man. Like, I really feel that one sister that was on Instagram, like, why do I have to work? Just give me the money. Just give me the money.
No, but then we open the door for all these socialists, and they're like universal basic income.
Yes.
Oh,
I
you
love
into it?
You know what? Why not, man? I remember getting those COVID checks. I was like, yeah, buddy.
You're like, that shit is called free money.
So go ahead, go.
Matt says, you guys, Van Jones is just passionate.
He is passionate for that Biden dick.
For that Democratic Party dick that they pay his bills, and so at what point is he not a minstrel show?
People have been calling him that for quite some time, man. That he's just a play on the desperate need to be loved and liked. But sometimes Van Jones, I think, has an appropriate take. Like when he was, I think some of his statements and coverage of the RNC were accurate. That it was a party unifying around their candidate, and at the time we did not have a unified. Well, when I say we, I'm not a part of this party, but there was no unified Democratic movement. It was like the shadow war going on to get the old man out. And they succeeded in that, man. And now the narrative spin is that Biden is a hero for stepping down, right? Biden should be remembered for his selfless act of removing himself from the runnings. But the problem with that is, man, that should have happened when the primaries happened, right? Like, had they been truthful with the American people, there would have been a Democratic primary. Like, but they shut that
right,
shit down.
and you know what? This is what the right is really. They are clinging to this one. They're dying on this one. They're flat out saying it's undemocratic that they're just putting this woman in.
Yeah.
I kind of feel them, but honestly, I don't think people pick the president in the first place.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's all a myth. It's all legend. So I'm not that upset at it, but it is funny that they're trying to say, look how undemocratic these guys are, even though it seems fair.
You know what, though, man? Before we get to the sadness of it all, let's get to the happiness of it all, man. The MCU might be back, man. Early reviews are in for Deadpool, Wolverine, and it looks stellar, man. It's looking really, really good. We just got our tickets going Thursday night, man. Been avoiding anything with their links in it. Clicked on one thing by mistake, man, and I'm sad that I did it because the footage looked real and there was a huge cameo in it, and I was like, son of a bitch.
And so here's the thing: I flip through YouTube. I see the cover art of people's reviews. Everyone seems smiley, happy. They're loving it. The only one I actually sat through, of course, YouTuber X, notorious Grace Randolph.
As did I.
Even she said the cameos she didn't even see coming, and they like totally put her in shock.
To quote her directly, she has not had this feeling since she left Infinity War Endgame. Is exactly what she said, man. That is like,
and now it has to live up to the hype. And what if it doesn't live up to the hype? Then I'm going to be.
But here's the thing, man. It's all good, man. Because, and this is going to sound really, really, really shady coming from me, man. I'm so happy to see people excited again about comic book movies, bro. I'm so happy after the debacle and the debate of The Acolyte, man, which I fixed, by the way. I fixed The Acolyte. I wrote another fan fiction. You guys might not know this. I fixed Handyman 4. I fixed it.
Oh, wait. So you did a fanfic for the Acolyte? For
the Acolyte, yeah. And I fixed it, man. And I'll give you a little snippet before I send you. I always send you my rough drafts and stuff like that, man. I
can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it.
Well, I'll give you the overarching thing, man, before we get back to Deadpool and Wolverine. I actually made it a story about the Sith. Yeah. All that other stuff. Twins, births, witches. I left all that shit out. And I took it to what people...
so it was 5 minutes long.
I took it to what people actually wanted to see, man. We did talk about the last episode of The Acolyte, but I do want to just park here at Wolverine and Deadpool for a second, man. You know what, man? I wasn't the first person on board when Hugh Jackman got casted as Wolverine. As you may remember, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Right. And then I found out he was in a musical called A Boy from Oz, or A Boy Called Oz, and I was like...
Which made it even worse, right?
I was like, what is happening? What is happening? But
the music man is playing Wolverine. Like,
exactly. But you know what?
What?
I gotta get what? I gotta give the thespian a shout out because even though some of the movies weren't up to my standards, he always played the character with integrity, man. He brought every bit of himself to it, man. And based on what people were saying in the early reviews and based off of what Grace Randolph said, and for this, I will take her word on it, man, because I know she's really into a high art type of thing. I haven't even checked Campia's thing yet, man. Is that it was a fun movie. It's a great movie. And I'm going to go see it with my best buddy. And that makes it for me, man. And the controversial take for me is that seeing people this happy again is amazing. If you may remember, I called you after I saw Infinity War and I was living in LA at the time. And as I'm going up to Burbank, I'm the legendary Burbank Theater with the mile-high escalator, right? People are coming down from the showing, the first showing of the night, right before I'm going into the next one. And it's just a somber vibe. Everyone's got their head down. One guy was over in the corner. I'm serious, going like this. And I'm like, oh shit, it bombed. I'm like, it sucked. It had to suck. And the curiosity got the best of me. And one dude was going by me on the escalator. I'm like, hey, bro, how was it? And he just looked at me and he was like, it's absolutely amazing. And just kept going. And I'm hoping for the same experience, man. But, you know, if we can go see Black Adam and enjoy it, Black Adam. Yeah. Everything's
Black
good.
Adam was awesome. Black Adam was awesome. But
Black Adam was awesome.
My Infinity War quick story is I didn't go see it immediately. At that point, I had Marvel fatigue. I was kind of tired of them. Right. I thought they're giving me less than they should. So I didn't go, and everyone at my job went.
Right.
And I come in Friday, and I'm like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" They're like, "Did you see it? Yo!" And everyone was talking, and I was like, "Can you guys not talk about it around me?" They're like, "Sure." Every time I'd leave the room, I'd come back, I'd see them talking, and they immediately shut up. And I said, you know, this is unacceptable. And so I worked my shift, and as soon as I got off, I immediately went to that movie. Like I couldn't, you know, and I'm so glad I did.
Bro, I was not disappointed at all, man. And I'm sure I'm not going to be disappointed with this, man. It's just about my expectations and what I expect to see versus what I actually get.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but Ryan Reynolds had to do a lot of talking to Kevin Feige to get him to say yes to doing this, which is kind of crazy, right? Because this thing is printing money. It's obvious it was going to print money, right?
Right.
And I have a feeling I know why. I have a feeling I know why.
Well, lay it out, motherfucker. Don't keep me waiting.
Well, I'm trying to keep the fans waiting. You always got to keep them thirsty for more of you, right?
No, that's why the Acolyte failed, because they tried to keep them waiting, and sometimes the door
didn't give us enough answers. So people are saying that this movie is so good that they can't replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. The problem is Hugh Jackman is 55 years old.
Right.
It is time for a new Wolverine, and what it is the problem is he's made a movie that prints money. However, he's now shot himself in the foot, because how many more movies can Hugh Jackman really do?
Not many, man, but you know, that's a tomorrow problem. Today we need to talk about fixing the MCU, right?
I just need a fix right now.
No, obviously they're gonna have to recast, man. And I think for me, front runner for that is that young man from the Kingsman movies, the main actor. He's always been my choice. Either him or the kid that played Harry Potter, jacked on steroids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Real quick, Matt says, I thought you guys loved The Acolyte. I love The Acolyte.
Oh, love it.
I stopped loving it in the last episode because they killed Soul. I think their hugest mistake was killing Soul.
Right.
They should have left Soul. But other than that, I like it. Here's what I'm saying. I don't love the slow episodes.
No.
But it's not the worst thing that ever happened. I mean, I would say I hated every episode of Boba Fett. Ooh. That's like a far worse crime against Star Wars than
actually, I didn't hate every episode of Boba Fett. I hated everything after we left the confines of them chilling with the Sand People. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that stuff was gold. I enjoyed that.
Once the plot kicked in, it was like really bad.
Oh, yeah. Once the show started going, I got to say, man, I wasn't so upset that they killed Soul, man. I really enjoyed the fight scene. Again, it's just like there was some execution.
Final fight scene.
That was an amazing final fight scene, in my opinion. But there were some execution problems where it was just like, you know, I wasn't so attached to the story anymore in a way where I was like, damn, Soul's dead. But I do think that I enjoyed that Soul took his death like a man, and he's just like, go ahead. Everything I did for you, bitch.
Right. But here's the thing. What's the point of killing the main character and then being like, well, we're going to have a season 2? I'm like, you've left me with just, I don't like the green bitch and I don't like the twins. So they're the only ones they decided to grace with life. What really is the point?
Well, wait, talking about, you were just talking about, Ryan Reynolds having to talk Kevin Feige into this, which is an idiotic thing for me to even believe that he would have to talk him into that. Let's talk about Leslie Headland trying to get the fans to talk Disney into do another season of this, man. It's a sad way to go out, man. It's a sad way to go out. But I don't know. Maybe they'll give us a season 2, man.
So you know what it is? Nobody knows really what they're talking about. And so people who say that it's definitely not going to get a second season, they could be right. They could absolutely be right. But they could also be absolutely wrong.
Okay.
So it's like in YouTube. When you watch YouTube, if I get 40,000 people to watch my YouTube video, but they all give me a thumbs down, you know what I have?
What?
40,000 views.
True.
And I get money for that.
That's very true.
And so if all these people are hate watching, for all we know, that's all Disney cares about. It trended every time. Every time it had an episode, people would be complaining, other people would be trying to defend it, and it would be this whole thing. It would take over Twitter. It at least gets attention. And so for all we know, that's what the execs could really only care about.
That's true. I mean,
and all these people, I'm sorry, like all these people like Grace and all these people, they all think that they know the business. Nobody knows the business of streaming. The only people who know the business of streaming are the people at Netflix. The people at Disney Plus aren't even sure how to keep a show afloat. They don't know what a success is. Is 1.8 million views a success? Does it have to be 10 million? Is it 100,000? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
I'm saying, over at Disney Plus, they greenlit Miss Marvel. Her premiere only had 700,000 views. That's half of the next one up, which was Hawkeye.
Right.
That is by vastly far, inferior to every other viewing statistic we have ever heard in our lives.
Right.
And they greenlit a second season.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. That's true.
So an Acolyte season 2 could happen.
It could happen, but do these people want to put up with the quote unquote abuse of going through it again? Right? Do they want to be dealing with all this shit again? And the funny thing is, man, I think they should have gone the way of Amazon in regards of Rings of Power. They were like, we don't give a shit if you like the first season or not. There will be a season 2 because we already paid for it.
Well, also there is that. Well, hold on. There is that attitude. That's another crazy thing about streaming. There is that attitude that, like, since streaming is just hovering in the ether, you can randomly get people to watch a show. Like, for instance, I started watching that show Suits.
Oh, yeah.
Suits hasn't been on for like 10 years.
And it's coming
back
back
on USA or something, right?
Yeah, it was on USA.
And for it's all because Meghan Markle made people watch Suits. And so Suits is a success after it just did okay.
Yeah.
And it's like a sleeper hit. And so what I'm saying is, for all we know, next summer, everyone will watch The Acolyte, or who didn't watch it.
Listen, man, of course I'm going to watch it if they do it again. I'm going to watch Rings of Power season 2. I'm already falling for the Kool-Aid again. I watched the trailer. We didn't talk about that. The
I actually
trailer.
didn't watch the trailer. I didn't even know the trailer was out.
Really? Here, I'll get it for you. Yeah. And then, yeah.
So Matt Cat says he wants a new Wolverine. Lo, welcome in. How are you, brother? Steve, you're talking about Taron Egerton for Wolverine, which I agree 1,000%. I would not be mad if he was Wolverine.
No, absolutely.
The Darth Plagueis tease says Shaolin. That's another thing. Will people vote for a season 2 just to get more Plagueis?
That is the real question, man. That is the real question.
Here's what I say. Here's what I do think is poor form on their part. They just shoehorned him in. Like, if he was removed from the episode, it wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And I do wish that, like, it almost felt like they. I have a sneaking suspicion he was not originally in the script, and at the last minute they were like, "Yo, put something in to make the people drool."
You know what though, man? I can agree with the critique that Star Wars Theory had in regard to Plagueis, man. Is that they did just kind of make him seem like some creep in the background, Gollum-esque character. But you know, it's his first canonical appearance, and that's what they chose to do. I kind of would have liked to seen him sitting on the throne and him just having a scene with what's his guy's yeah, with Zipperface, man. That would have been great.
I saw and I know we're supposed to be talking about Marvel right now, but I just real quick, I saw the most inaccurate. Here's what it is. The new rock stars, God bless them, I love them. They do the most elaborate rundowns and breakdowns of shows. They'll do it for each episode. They'll do an hour-long YouTube video looking at every little nook and cranny of things. Right. They're wonderful. And for some reason, when it came to the last episode of The Acolyte, they were just wrong on everything they said. It was totally insane. And really? I love them. They're super professional. So their take on Plagueis is that Chimere is a Sith on his own. He's getting the twin girl. He's getting Osha or May. I can't keep track of them. To be his apprentice. And he doesn't know that Darth Plagueis is watching from the shadows. And I'm like, that is absolutely not what is going on. And so just to let you guys know over at New Rockstars, he is Chimere's secret master. He gave the witches the power to create the twins. The twins are an experiment of his. Right. He wants Chimere he's experimenting with her. So he wants Chimere to seduce one of them so that he can see what he can do with them and their capabilities. And this is all just a mind fuck. And he's the great master and behind the scenes. And I feel that is so obvious.
Yeah, I didn't even think it can go another way.
Right. And when I was watching the video, I was like, you didn't even understand that. How could you guys, you experts, you professionals, not get it?
Oh my goodness. Weird. Very weird. What's up, Lainey? Lesbian needs to go away.
Lesbian Headland. That is funny that her name kind of sounds like that. Needs to go away. She's just embarrassing herself. The Acolyte doesn't deserve a season 2. I think it does. Velma got a season 2. Anything can happen in this effed up clown show of a world we live in, says Lowe. Yes. I agree with him 1,000%. You know, lesser shows have gotten season 2. Lesser shows are going to get season 2s.
Absolutely.
And so I like the fighting. I like Jedis who aren't. You know what it is? And this is my critique of Star Wars Theory, my illegitimate son. You know what it is? Star Wars to him is like a religion, and therefore Anakin is God, and everything has to be about Anakin. And I like a break from Anakin. I like watching a show. I'm like, this has nothing to do with the Skywalkers and their dick waggling, right?
Right. It's funny because I told you in private that I decided to give Ahsoka a third viewing, and I do feel as if though Ahsoka is a superior show just based off of Baylan alone, man. Baylan, watching it for the third time, man. Baylan just has such a presence, and even I forget his Padawan's name, man, but all of that shit just resonates after watching Acolyte. Now, I don't know if that really means that it was that bad, but I enjoyed it. I would watch a season 2. I sent you the trailer for Rings of Power season 2. I'm just gonna use the bathroom really quickly, and then we can get into it.
Matt Cat says, but Miss Marvel ain't getting a season 2. I believe it is. I believe it was announced. I do believe it's getting a season 2. Suits is awesome. Those last 2 aren't that great though. Yeah, I mean I think every show at a certain point hits, it jumps the shark. Right? And so, when you look at Arrow, right? Let's take Arrow for a second. I think you could have ended in season 5 and they just kept going. Same with the Flash. Flash didn't have to go as long as it did. Everything, even Buffy the Vampire Slayer, legendary show, only really needed 5 seasons, right? Lainey says, Vantis. Hello, Lainey. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing good. Welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. We're bitching, of course, about Disney Plus and all the crazy things that they put out. Matt Cat has missed you, Lainey, as I have as well. Lowe says, Miss Marvel was a DEI cringe. It absolutely was, and I have to say, at one point, and my sister forced me to watch it. I remember my sister's like, "You gonna be a hater?" It's like, "I won't be a hater. I watch, right?" So I'm watching, and I lost it when they decided to do a time travel to tell the history of Pakistan. And this is why Marvel is lost. And here's what I'm saying: the history of Pakistan is very important to certain people, and that's great. That's not why people tune into superhero shows. They don't tune into superhero shows to find out, the histories or educational things. That's what the documentaries are for, or something like that. It was just bizarre that they would put it in there. And I really just, I was like, Disney really doesn't know what it's doing right now. They may have announced the season 2, but it ain't happening. Okay. It is true that, that's another thing people don't know about streaming. They're always announcing things and saying things left and right. They're like, this is happening. This is happening. They announce all this stuff. Sometimes they announce stuff and they just never bother to make it. It's actually really weird. Lowe says it was so pandering. It was bizarre.
What's that?
We were just talking about the content that was in Miss Marvel season 1. Did you watch it?
No, I've watched one episode, couldn't make it through it. Just like Echo, never finished it.
Yeah. Oh, Echo, man. Echo's another one, man. Like, and I'm gonna say before we get into this trailer right now, I gotta say, and this is the thing: will Kevin Feige survive long enough to keep making a working MCU? And look what's coming up on the horizon.
For instance, what's coming up in the horizon?
Agatha is going to bomb.
Ooh, yeah.
There is no way crowds are gonna like Agatha. She's a comic book character with no fans.
Right.
She's not even accurate to her character in this piece. It doesn't even connect with the other shows. It's her own little thing. It's a cast of all females. Once again, they're going full female, and then there's one flamboyant gay guy.
So all females.
Not touching that one. But I am saying, what are they thinking? And so I'm gonna semi quote Grace Randolph, because sometimes Grace Randolph is correct. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Right.
And so she said, you got to have 4 quadrant pieces, and you're like, what are the 4 quadrants, right? And so it's white cis people. It's like blacks, it's gays, and it's something else. But basically, you got to hit something that'll appeal to wide ranges.
Absolutely,
right. And so to vote out men, like for instance, if you were to watch the Marvels, people could easily say, "Well, Sam Jackson's a tough guy." He's not in this movie.
Not at all. He's almost
a cuddly idiot in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And
absolutely.
They eliminated the male perspective. For what though? What was it in exchange for? It's like they wanted it to flop.
I'm just not convinced that wasn't supposed to be a Disney Plus movie. I'm not convinced that wasn't supposed to be
right. It had the quality of it, right?
100%.
It didn't even have a celebrity villain. Most of them have celebrity villains, that well. Like they have Anthony Hopkins or whoever up in there. They didn't even do that.
I don't listen. Here's what I know, man. Thursday night, you and I are gonna go see Wolverine and Deadpool, right? And just finding out that X-23 was confirmed to be in the movie, I was just like, man, they're pulling out all the stops for this one, and I'm good with that, man. Now, I did send you and Shaolin something, man, which made me happy, but also upset me. If somehow Todd McFarlane gets his shit together and the Spawn movie is released before the Blade movie.
So you know what I wanted to... Here's what it is. I didn't want to bust your chops. But what I wanted to respond is, I will believe it when I see it.
And when we're walking into the theaters and Blade is just in pre-production 20 years from now.
You got me on Blade, because I was like... Black guy, vampires. That's all you need, right? And you were like, you're psychic, because it was mad long ago that you said, I don't believe they're gonna really make the Blade movie. And I said, what are you talking about? It's Blade, man. How hard could this be?
Apparently, very difficult.
There's a rumor that Mahershala Ali actually quit and they haven't admitted it yet.
I could believe that, man. I could believe it. I could believe it, man. It's such a simple movie to make, man, because it's like you're giving people exactly what they want. Testosterone. I might go watch Blade 2 and 3 after this, man. And maybe even Blade 1. The whole thing that kicked this whole thing off, man.
Lo says because everyone talks like that, referencing their own culture every other sentence. We are living in the age of the narcissist.
Yeah.
Agatha is also too late. It's way too disconnected from WandaVision. The first show launched. Yeah, not only did it launch years ago, but the fact that it's not directly, like the fact that it's not going to lead to Wanda appearance or a Vision appearance is just, it's dead on arrival. And I can't believe that. And actually, Grace, speaking of Grace, she said in a live stream, oh, Wanda's fine. Not Wanda. She said Agatha's fine. Agatha's going to do fine because it has its own fan base. And it's just like, how do you not get that the fans of Wanda are not the fans of Agatha?
Right.
It's a totally different thing, and they're not interchangeable. And that's what it is. Kevin Feige thought that Captain America fans would go to Agatha, which is literally insane. He is smoking too much of the crack. And that's what I got to say. When you go to Hollywood, you're doing those drugs, you stop at coke. You don't go graduate to crack. Feige did, and that explains Phase 4.
100%. That is probably the funniest shit.
Yeah, Agatha's going to be a complete abortion, says Matt. Oh! They said the gays will love it, but only because Wiccan is in there, and that character
100%.
sucks.
100%.
I didn't even like him in the comic. Like, I don't really. Here's what it is. I don't hate the Young Avengers, but I don't love them. They don't replace the Avengers for me.
No. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff, man.
Rogue Radio, what up? Welcome to the stream.
Rogue Radio.
Yes. Terrence and I will see that movie too. You know what I know, Steve? I can see what can be unburdened by what has been. Someone is coconut pilled, and I think it might be Matt.
I honestly don't think Blade is happening, and that saddens me. Yeah, man. But would we be more unhappy to have gotten this completely narrative-driven nonsense that has nothing to do with the beloved character that we all enjoyed watching Wesley Snipes play? Like, would it have been worse for them to release a movie where it's like a passing of the mantle, which we've gone over ad nauseum here, and just nonsense? And then they put you in a position where you almost sound. This is why I'm empathetic to Star Wars Theory and all these guys. You get put in a position where it's like, what does this have to do with anything, right? What does strong black female empowerment in Blade have to do with Blade, right? Now, if you want to introduce a dope ass character, you want to introduce some dope female vampire slaying bitch, and that shit works, great. But we know they can't deliver on that. What we would got instead is some snarky teenage sidekick, which is his daughter, saying things like, this shit is lit. I'm fucking going crazy. That's what's happening because I know. Oh my god.
Why'd you do it, Feige? And Lowe says Blade is never going to happen. What cool black guy would want to touch that Disney universe at this point? Yeah,
exactly. And that spins into the campaign that's now being spun for Kamala Harris, that if you're a black man and you're not on code, well, you're a misogynist and you're a race traitor. So if you would, I'm going there, man. I'm going there. This is the narrative they're pushing, man. And don't get me wrong, like the conservatives are not helping their own case. Trump's speech was entirely too long. We'll get to that at some point. Like that shit was 90 minutes of.
But you know what's interesting? You know what I find interesting? It's speaking of looking up idiotic like excuses to hate on a person. My man literally proved to be the toughest motherfucker in the world. He gets shot at, and instead of cowering under the table like most people would, he stands up and he's like, fight, fight, fight. And then later on, people are like, oh yeah, but his speech was long. We all know he gives long speeches. This is not news to anybody. They're like making up. They can't find anything wrong with the guy. And so if their biggest argument is like his speech was too long, must mean he's not presidential.
Bro, listen.
Unlike Coconut Tree Woman,
That shit, I don't know. Maybe it's because she's of Caribbean and Indian descent, where just hearing the word coconut for her,
Sounds racist.
yeah, it sounds pretty bad. But I mean, the conservatives aren't doing themselves any favor, man. With a lot of the commentators really leaning into the DEI conversation. Actually, hearing that one senator or congressman refer to her as a DEI hire. Listen, that could be true. She could have been a DEI hire. But the more you lean into that narrative, the more you galvanize the left. It's almost as if the conservatives didn't learn their lesson the first time. Even if you didn't
they do need to chill with that. They do need to chill because they're gonna look like racists.
Yeah.
And so
And it makes them look as race obsessed as their opposition. Like, you can't say they're obsessed with race. They're obsessed with race.
Well, here's the thing. Every vice president in the history of vice presidents in America, actually, other than the ones when they had to get elected, in the early days, they had to run their own election to be elected. But then they found out that, like, the VP and the president, if they weren't on the same page, nothing would get done.
Right.
So then they made them one entity. But, like, ultimately, they're all DEI in a way.
Yeah.
And so I'll give you an example. Trump tried to prove to people that he's a Christian.
Right.
So then he gets Pence.
Right.
This current one, Trump needs to prove that he's young, or that he's like, don't worry, there's young energy in this office. So he gets a young guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so all-American young guy. Joe Biden doesn't want to look so white, so he gets Kamala Harris. Obama didn't want to look like a black socialist, so he gets Biden.
Right.
And so on and so forth. They're always picking VPs for the wrong reasons. It's all optics. They don't really care about the person.
Right.
You know, they don't really earn it. They're just like, they're like the right color at the right time, whether that color is white or black.
I mean, here's the thing about it, man. At a certain point, we just got to be objective about it. Whoever you vote for, I hope you're being objective about their policies and what they're bringing to the table. But I know that this is all just going to boil down to name calling. I was really hoping that Trump would stick with the unity narrative for just a bit longer. But, you know, he got right back in the saddle. He's like, this fucking moron's running for president. But he makes some valid points, man. Again, the hardest road for the Democrats is going to be that you were just screaming that this man was a threat to democracy, and you shoehorn this woman in there on the process that is completely bogus, in my opinion. I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but it just, none of the constituents that I know who would have voted Democrat, none of them have said they were going to go for Kamala Harris. And so now we're in the position where we have to deal with these type of things. We have to deal with Sonny and Whoopi and all these people saying that they were on a call with 70,000 black women, and the black woman is who's pushing the bone of the backbone of the Democratic Party. And it's just like everything gets lost in, can she do the job? Do her qualifications make her the appropriate person? Should the Democratic Party have the ability, and I'm talking about the normal constituents, to vote if this woman was going to be their president? Now, I know some people are going to say, hey, they're going to get that opportunity now. No, there should have been a primary, right? They should have had the opportunity to have their best chance run. Period. Because if I'm to believe that handsome young man with the glasses that does the stats over at MSNBC, and shout out to that dude, man. Shout out to that dude, because he refuses to get put in any polarized position of being like a shill for either side. He's a numbers guy. He's like, look, numbers say Trump is leading. Kamala is slightly better than Biden, but Trump is still beating her by 2 points. Those are the numbers, folks. So Kamala Harris has an uphill battle, in my opinion, to win over and unify people under her presidency, unless the plan is to keep the country as divided as possible, as it has been for the past, 12 fucking years now. So, woohoo! Great.
Well said. You should have been a political analyst instead of a knucklehead on the internet.
Exactly. Give me the fucking bones. You ready to get into some trailers, man? Because we got another humdinger of a trailer, man. Joker 2.
Joker 2, yeah. We'll talk about that when we get
Mantis has got some mixed feelings, man.
Got many mixed of feelings. We live in, you know what the problem is? We live in interesting times, like too interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Too interesting. And I just kind of, it's like, do we really need a musical superhero movie?
Yes.
I did not see that one coming.
No, I absolutely would love for it not to be a musical. Like 100%. That would be the greatest thing on earth to me.
All right. Okay.
Hey, shout out to whoever's over in Kick. I see you.
Yo, Kickers. We love you.
All right, here we go. Rings of Power.
Ancient and powerful, has returned.
Prepare yourselves.
He worms his way inside your mind. The crest of him slithers in.
Pausing it just for copyright.
Yes, of course.
Because I don't know who runs this.
Prime, Amazon Prime.
I just don't want Jeff Bezos to sue me and like own everything.
So as usual, the scale of this show is absolutely amazing to me. I know that, you know, it is, bro. It's absolutely amazing how much money they spent on this and how epic it looks, man. And it's already got me fucking. It's got me locked in already, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't hate season 1. I did not hate season 1. I think people were just extra nowadays.
Yeah, man. I
understand not liking it, but they're like, this is the worst thing ever. This is a joke. I'm like, it's not that much of a joke. It's a high quality fantasy.
It's ruining society. It's turning my kids gay.
I think he has been here.
No, that's Tick.
I think he's been here among us all along.
Oh, let's talk about that. Yeah. So the recast. So they recast. I was about to say Voldemort. Sauron.
No, they didn't recast him. It's the same actor. He's just got a wig on. Yeah.
Oh, they're just making him Elven now because it's true that they said that when he, before he was wearing the armor, he was beautiful like an elf, right?
Right.
And in last season, he was not beautiful. He was handsome, but he was not the pretty boy we assumed he would be.
Right. He was not the angel of light.
Right. He wasn't like Lucifer.
Some brunette bum.
He was really bummy, as a matter of fact. And so now they're making him more like Lucifer.
Right. Yeah. Let's check it.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril.
He's Sauron.
Yeah. There's that.
And so yes it is. I'm gonna watch it. I keep saying this about everything. I might review it on my YouTube channel.
Right.
That might be fun to do. I don't hate this show. And I'm kind of sick of the narrative that we have to hate it.
Okay. Let me hear it. Go ahead.
No, here's what it is. It's like this. I just feel like all these things, like the Acolyte, or like this. Here's what it is. We live in the age that people are so spoiled. We can't have nice things anymore.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And so imagine. Here's what I'm saying. Let's say I took a time machine, went back to like the year 2000, and I was like, "Yo, bro, check out this show about the Jedi," and I showed you the Acolyte. Or even if I showed Star Wars Theory, the Acolyte, was he alive in 2000? I don't know if he was. He was probably like. He was probably some dirt on his father's boot. But me, But the point is, their mind would be blown, and they're like, Jedis? There's other Jedi stories? What's happening? And for some reason, we're so spoiled that you could get a $180 million 8-episode, so that's like a 4-hour movie about Jedis, and they're getting into fights, they're doing all sorts of shit. Or like this.
Right.
This is like $1 billion production or whatever.
It's beautiful.
Not a real figure, guys. And people will bitch to the ends, like it's like we're killing them, we're killing their childhood, we're destroying everything by having these properties. And I'm like, it's not that serious. It's one thing to not like it, to be like, you know what, I'm not really into it.
Right.
But their strong stance on the internet, it's like, take a pill, bro, or see a therapist. What is wrong with you? This isn't the end of the world.
It's funny, man, because there's some things that we're so passionate about, but at the end of the day, it is just high fantasy, right? It is just entertainment. It's just television, but it means so much to people, man. But I'm gonna watch, bro. You know why? Because the boredom of not watching would get to me. But what did you think of the trailer?
I like it, and I'm sold. You know what it is? It was clearly a teaser because they didn't give us much.
No, not at all.
You know what? They gave us great visuals. They didn't give us any plot, so I can't really discern what's going on
at all.
Yeah. Which I'll be fine. I'll be fine to unravel the plot. Like I would actually say I enjoyed for season 1. I didn't enjoy. I'll tell you what I didn't enjoy. Maybe I'm a hater on final episodes, or you know what it is? I'm a hater on bad twists. I did not enjoy the reveal that dude was Sauron the whole time. That didn't even make any sense.
No, that was weak
sauce. It didn't make any fucking sense, right? So
even though the reveal was weak as hell, right? Mm-hmm. But I do have to give the props to the actors because I actually thought they acted that scene out well when they're, in her mind, they're on the boat and and she's screaming at him and he's screaming at her. I was like, oh, it was a well acted horrible scene. They did a good job.
Another reveal I didn't really like is that the crazy meteor man turns out to be Gandalf, which he should not mechanically be Gandalf. He really should be like the Blue Mage or something, right?
Bro, it's all I can say is we'll see, right? And it's not that my energy is low tonight. It's just that we didn't talk about this, and that's the thing that really surprised me, man. We're a channel dedicated to reviewing popular culture and pop shows and television and stuff like that. And this goes to my point of the complaints are so high right now that I have to kind of just put all that shit to the side and get back to basics of let me watch it first and then shit on it.
Right. And so I got to tell you, people who are bad actors in the recent, once again, Acolyte. I got to use the Acolyte because it's just the closer example. In her own admission, and Brett Cooper too, they didn't watch it.
Yeah.
And they say in their videos while they're critiquing it, they didn't watch it.
Exactly.
Like, then what are you going on about? You watch it and see for yourself. You literally allow other people to tell you what is good and what is bad.
Well, again, it's like, and this is where I disagree with Tyrone Magnus 100% when he was making the argument against there being grifters on that side of the table. I'm like 100% there are people who are disingenuous in their outrage of this because it gets clicks, man. It's a fact, bro. If you can't accuse people of review bombing in the positive without accepting that people can review bomb in the negative, right? The argument cancels each other out. So we just have to accept that this is possibly happening on both sides. But there are people who are professional reviewers and they started to steer. What's Matt's in here. That one channel where the guy's constantly lying about scoops. He never got into social commentary.
Mike Zero.
Yeah, never got into any of that stuff. And man, he started wading into those anti-woke waters. And I'm like, bro, you're the worst type of grifter. You've been telling us Kathleen Kennedy is out of a job for years. You freaking
right. And why can't someone stop them? And you know what's so funny? If he had been saying facts about COVID, he would be banned from YouTube. But because he's not, he's saying lies, like literally lies about Disney, no one does anything.
Absolutely.
His channel flourishes and he has millions of followers, which is crazy to me.
Absolutely.
That he has followers. That is totally crazy.
Yeah.
Matt Cat says, my daughter told me I should be president. I'd vote for me. Yo, Matt Cat, I would actually vote for you. And I'll tell you what. what would be great about Mad Cat as president? Mad Cat tells it as it is. Like, he tells it like his true heart. He doesn't front.
Right. Matt,
And
you
so
definitely need a tight detail because they'd kill your ass quick. They'd be gunning for you quick, bro.
The Miss Marvel crowd would be coming for you.
Yeah, they'd be coming for you hard.
Rico
bro.
says, I'm also so sad I missed last week. Last week with us? Is that it?
Yes.
Rico says, okay, totally tinfoil hatting. It's like conservatives want Trump shot just so there can be a Christ figure and look like they're right. When to me, this just looks like WWE now.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is that like someone who pitched this, they're like, Republicans tried to have him killed. Well, then who are they going to put up for president?
Right.
All the rest of them are jokers. None of them can stand up against.
It's crazy to me that Vivek isn't our vice president, isn't the vice president nominee. I actually am more in line with what Vivek's vision of America would be versus what Trump's vision of America would be. I think he has the ability to unify people outside of the party and bring people to the table. But again, I'm looking at it from the lens of unity. So, yeah, here we go.
By the way, Matt Cat says this season looks like trash. Rings. Rico says, why do all these movie producers have to use 808s in their trailer? We all copy Kanye.
Yeah.
808. I don't know what an 808 is.
It's a deep bass.
Oh. Because it's epic.
Matt says,
epic,
oh,
right?
oh my God, you guys like a lot of shitty.
No, here's what I'm saying. Although I did enjoy The Acolyte up until the end. Like, for instance, I wouldn't. Here's what I'm saying. I'm fine with the Lord of the Rings of Power. It's not my favorite show, but I'm saying that if I get an hour a week to go to this beautiful fantasy world,
Right.
sign me up.
Absolutely, man.
You know?
Absolutely. I'm gonna be tuning in because what else am I gonna be watching? The debates? What am I gonna be watching? Bilbo Baggins. So
Lord of the Rings has been just a massive failure entirely, says Lowe. From the Two Towers movie to now, everything. You didn't like the Two Towers?
Whoa.
Whoa!
Right
Haters
there,
in the building.
That's a take right there, man.
Oh my God. You know, to be honest, actually, I'm going to tell you, the Fellowship of the Ring, I didn't love. I was like, they walk around the woods all the whole time. It was boring. It was the Two Towers that really got me into it.
I enjoyed the Fellowship of the Ring, man. It was very lengthy, and there was a lot of walking, but I enjoyed the dialogue and everything like that. Two Towers definitely got me into it, man. But watching Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship, the uncut version, that's a masterpiece, man. That is truly a masterpiece.
Now that I'm a fan, like I like the uncut versions. I think probably here's what it is. I went to Lord of the Rings twice, Fellowship. Fell asleep both times.
Ooh, wow.
So I was very critical of it. And I remember, Two Towers really made me be like, this is amazing.
Well, that opening, you can't beat that. Gandalf falling with the Balrog, that epic music being played. That was was on point. All right, so we got that out the way. What I'm really interested in, we're going to have to be careful with the copyright because Warner Brothers is hurting for cash, man. I really want to see what the people think of this Joker 2 trailer. I enjoyed the Joker film, man. I really did enjoy that. Was very disheartened to hear that they were going to be doing a musical for the second installment. But after watching this trailer, man, and you know what? Again, duplicitous in my response, man. I went to go see what Grace thought about it because she was one of the first reviewers that I watched to cover the original Joker, the last Joker movie. And I agreed with her. I thought it was a masterful trailer and an amazing movie. Her response to this, she almost cried. She literally almost cried, bro.
You know, the mentally unhealthy, they have all sorts of outbursts. Could be tears one minute, Could be Rage the next. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if like we eventually see a story in the in the news where she's got a couple of bodies under her bed.
I love that you make her out into like a Renfield character. Basically.
I am telling you that when she said, I gotta sign off, I got plans with my friends tonight, she's going into her extra room on her East Side apartment, and she's got 4 corpses in there, and she's like, "What's that, Mary? Yes, we should sew tonight." That is her. In a nutshell, you heard it here first, folks. Fanboy Modeling School. So let's see what this tear invoking trailer does for us.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century. They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not.
Definitely me on my way to work.
He's a monster.
Yes, that is you.
When I first saw Joker, when I saw you,
the whole world smiles with you.
for once in my life,
oh man.
I didn't feel so alone anymore.
I love the backdrop of like late 70s, early 80s New York, aka
I agree.
Gotham. And
I really like the first one. I really like the first Joker.
Oh, first one was masterful. And here's the thing, man. I also really enjoy a little bit of the change up for the Harley Quinn story, man. I was never a big fan of the whole "I made her crazy," shit job as a therapist if you can't go into there and be objective looking at the Joker. But I do love that she was also a mental patient. And as we'll see when this plays out, man.
Oh, so they're switching it up. They have to make all these changes. I get it. I actually I like the idea of a therapist who falls in love with her victim, or should I say her
victim.
what is psychologists call it? Clients. Okay, client.
Victim.
and he's smooth enough to reverse it, where he's like, "Now I'm pulling the strings."
Oh,
right?
you know what's crazy? Before you hit play, man. Remember when the Suicide Squad trailer came out? That was some of the best editing ever, because I was like, this movie will be amazing.
I was so gassed.
Bro, I must have watched that trailer 1,000 times, man. And then the Joker reveal, man, I was like, yes, bro, this is going to be sick. And then I got to the theater and I was like...
You know what? And here's another thing that's going to make people hate me. I'm actually a defender of Hip Hop Joker.
Listen, I enjoyed him in the Snyder Cut for sure. But it was just, he's
here's what I'm saying. The Suicide Squad in a whole was fucked up. I want to believe that this what is it? The Ayer cut. The guy's name is Ayer, the director's name is Ayer. He claims that the executives made him change the movie, and that the true ending when they're on a train fighting the Joker gang is the real ending.
On the train fighting the Joker gang.
So here's what it is. Executives were like, it's not comic booky enough, and they removed the ending, and they made it where like the person they're going to get ends up being Amanda Waller. Right. Which wasn't originally part of the script, and then they fight a bunch of zombies and some magical shit. That originally Entrances was not going to betray them. They were all supposed to get their target, the person they get, onto a subway train, and the Joker gang gets on, and they're supposed to have an epic battle on the train, and we never got to see it. And so the director is very vocal. He's like, there needs to be an Ayer cut. They took out the last act of my thing, and they put in crap. He's like, it wasn't supposed to be fighting zombies and magical things.
Yeah.
And so he's demanding it. And like, he actually thought there was hope once he saw that there was a Snyder cut. But no one is.
Oh, y'all fucked that up.
If they're going to do a Snyder cut, they need to at least do a fucking Ayer cut. I want to believe that there's a good version of that movie. Because I agree with you. When that first trailer, I was like, this is a new age of superheroes.
Yeah, I was like, this shit's gonna be dark. It's gonna be funky.
The game, man.
It's gonna be great. Hit it.
Now our dumbasses are stuck. Stuck with this bullshit James Gunn is making. Okay. This is definitely New York in the 80s.
Yeah.
once in my life. I have someone who needs me.
How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
Showtime. The whole world smiles with me.
Bro. Epic. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not sold yet.
Absolutely.
But do you know about the two Jokers theory?
Of course. It's a 3 Jokers theory.
No, not for comic books. For
okay.
the Snyder verse or whatever.
No.
So it includes him and Hip Hop Joker.
Okay.
Okay, so in Batman v Superman, it would imply, although never said, it would appear that the Joker probably killed that world's Robin.
Right.
So the theory suggests that this is the real first Joker.
Right.
And Batman later on was fighting him with Robin. Later on, Robin gets kidnapped, and just like in the animated series, you know, when they have the future one, Batman Beyond, Joker tortures him so bad that later on, after Batman kills this Joker, that he becomes the hip hop Joker. And the hip hop Joker is Robin, and it's even proven that with all his tattoos, he has a Robin tattoo.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that, man.
When you see him with his shirt off, he has a Robin tattoo. And so obviously, if he had murdered him, he might have put it on. Okay, I dig that. But I like that theory that it includes both Jokers in that universe.
I like that too, man. But instead, what we got was Bullseye, front and center, Will Smith, the center of the entire fucking story, which made no fucking sense.
And I'm sick of that Bullseye story. I don't care if he's white, if he's black, whatever they're doing with him this week. I'm tired of you bitching about your daughter. Yeah, plenty of people have daughters and don't become homicidal maniacs.
Right, absolutely, man.
Actually, to be honest, my favorite take on the character. You were an Arrow fan?
Yeah. When he gets killed trying to escape in the Arrow show, I remember that shit.
But do you remember when they had an episode that was an origin story and he has PTSD?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he fought in Iraq. He was a sniper in Iraq, and he lost his mind. And he came home. He couldn't have his family because he had all these violent tendencies. I love that.
Arrow was badass first 4 seasons, man. You can't
when Arrow was good, it was on fire.
Yeah, undeniable, man. It had a little bit of that lost element, flashbacks to the island and shit.
I
I'm like,
love that. It was really well done.
Matt says, I love the fact that there's a trial going on. Yeah. This, I'm going to give it to the first trailer, man, when we seen Joker make that little kid smile, we all knew that was Bruce Wayne. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, holy shit, they're putting Bruce Wayne in this shit, man.
I didn't like little child Bruce Wayne. It annoyed me. Yeah, you know what it is? I don't like Gotham. I don't like I didn't like what they did with Batman in this. I don't like these origin stories where they're like, Batman is a child. Let's look at his innocence years. Fuck that. He doesn't get interesting until he's a vigilante.
A vigilante.
Rico says, "Man, bring me Red Hood."
Yes, Red Hood would be great in live action. Jared Leto's Joker is trash. It makes me cringe.
I don't know what was so wrong about it.
I think it was just like they made him too desperately unhappy when Harley got kidnapped. When that's not their relationship. Even this kind of is going too far.
Yeah, this is its own story. It's not the real deal. I dig it. I'm not into it. But let's finish this.
You can do anything you want.
Notice how they're not showing them saying that.
Yeah.
The sun comes.
You're Joker.
Look around! Look at all these people! Bring on! I will no longer allow any of you
The little person that was there for murder.
to keep me down! Be happy again. I got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
Kill everyone in the audience.
Hallelujah. Come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day.
If I could make a comment that's going to insult every one of you.
Oh boy.
You people are messed up. You need to see a therapist and you need to stay there. Everyone glamorizes mental health issues. They're like, look at him. He's so crazy. Really, I find him creepy and unnerving and I don't want to be around him.
Oh,
him and his whore.
Oh, Mantis is going feminist on us. It's running the shit, the incels. Listen, you push a motherfucker with mental health issues to a point where he leads a worldwide, a citywide riot. I want to see that shit. And from the confines, safely from my home. Come on, bro. This is good shit right here, man. I know that you're old school DC and you don't necessarily want a Joker origin story. I personally enjoyed the Three Jokers story in the comics, man, because that shit was fucking badass. But one of my favorite Joker Elseworld origin stories is when you find out that the Joker is just a spirit, like this evil thing that's occupied Gotham, and they never really leaned into that. And I was like, man, I would love to see that in representation.
So I believe that. Here's what it is. I believe that he both has an earthly origin, like the man has an earthly origin, but I do believe he's part of the spiritual shit because so is Batman.
Yo, Lo says woke Mantis reveals their true color.
So you know what the whole Dr. Gotham storyline?
Yeah.
So like, originally Gotham being like New York, really like a thing for that. There was an evil witch doctor who ruled over it in the ancient days, and they cut him up. They killed him. They cut him up, and they buried a different part of his body on each island throughout the city of Gotham. And so the place is cursed. And that's why even their hero is like a dark, evil presence.
Yeah.
And so it would make sense that Joker, the villain of it, is demonically possessed. I'm into it. But we're not going to see any of that fun stuff here. We're just going to see psychopaths fucking spooning the whole fucking time. And you guys are calling me woke. This is a love story between two psychos in a psych ward. And it's not one of those good psych wards. It's a fucking city psych ward where it's fucking dirty and there's roaches. It is fucking great. It is welfare. It is welfare psych ward. Fuck that,
bro. You had a similar reaction to the first trailer, and you wound up you wound up loving that movie, man. You were literally on the same. You're like, I just don't need this sensitive Joker, blah blah blah. And then like, the next thing I know, I see you after the movie. You got a smoker's jacket on. You're like, where's the thing about high odds, Steve? You don't understand.
Yeah, the first one was very good, surprising. It surprised me. I felt things. But this is trash.
Can we would most certainly this video is going to get copyrighted, so folks, make sure you check it out on Kick and anywhere else, Rumble, that we're live right now, because YouTube is definitely going to hit us for this. Can we just go down a little journey here, man? I want to do a comparative. So now let's watch the first Joker trailer, then followed by the Suicide Squad trailer.
I want to do Suicide Squad first.
Let's do Suicide Squad first. All right, let's go.
We're just going to we're looking to get banned tonight.
Warner Brothers is like, no one watches our properties without our consent. Nobody. Shaolin says, I love that origin for Gotham. It's amazing. Yeah, man. Gotham is a strange and dark place, man. The Court of Owls, also very, very interesting backstory. Really loved it. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, yeah, we can't do the volume.
No. You got the wrong one. I'll get it for you. You entertain the folks for a second.
Yeah, but he says, I love that origin of Gotham. It is amazing. You know what it is? And all things, not all things, obviously, but a lot. Batman has such a rich and amazing one. And I have to say, I hated this trend where DC was doing sequels to famous storylines, but instead of calling them two, they just had similar names. An example is Batman in the 80s when Robin was killed. It was called Death in the Family. Yeah. And then in the 2000s, they had something called Death of the Family. And so, like they have all these infinite crises. Like everything is Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
It's just a slight variation on the name. It's there to confuse us, and it's fucking stupid. But I will say this. Death of the Family is a great written story.
Oh, absolutely.
And also at the end of that, I also like this kind of origin, is that when he's fighting Joker at the end of it, Joker's like, and I know the real reason you'll never kill me. And then he's like, oh, really? Do tell. And Joker says, because you're familyless. However, he's like, you feel familyless, but if you kill me, you will really be without family. And there's an implication that the Joker is somehow related to Batman.
I don't think that's what that meant. I know what you're talking about.
You think it's metaphoric family?
Yeah, I think it's metaphoric.
I take it as biological. I'm like, is he somehow secretly a family member?
Actually, if you click the one with Jared Leto's face there, I believe that's the same one I just sent you. Yeah, it is. There we go.
Taking some work, but I finally have them.
Oh, this is good.
The worst of the worst.
So good.
Man.
Even that was clever.
Yeah.
Where?
Let's just say I put him in a hole and threw away the hole.
There's rumors, Amanda, that some of them have abilities.
Oh, yeah. I have seen things. Maybe Superman was some kind of beacon for them to...
Copyrights all around today. That's right, Rico.
Yeah, we're getting
the task force of the most dangerous people on the planet who I think can do some good.
This is amazing already.
They're bad guys.
Like her saying, like she's like maybe Superman was some sort of beacon for drawing them out.
Yeah.
I love that concept.
Oh, absolutely.
The DCEU could have been amazing.
It was heading places, man. This trailer really made me think. I was like, fudge, man. Because I really enjoyed Man of Steel, and okay, Batman v Superman. The unedited version is great. By the way, I stand by what I said, man. Ben Affleck's Batman movie that we never got was probably going to be the best Batman movie we ever had. But for the brief time he was Batman in that movie, other than killing a bunch of motherfuckers, and I remember being the first dude, I was like, did Batman just kill someone? Yo, that is the realest Batman physically and attitude-wise we've ever had. Now,
that's the real Batman, and I'm tired of these other Batman coming over and they're like, yo, look at the dude from Twilight being Batman.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not Batman. That's some bullshit.
Even though I did enjoy Michael Keaton coming back as Batman in the Flash movie. I
like that movie. But...
And if anything goes wrong, we blame them. We have built-in deniability.
What makes you think you can control them?
Because getting people to act against their own self-interest is what I do for a living.
I was like, yes.
I love it. This setup is amazing.
Rock was
Are you the devil?
All you need to know is you work for me.
Yeah, badass.
And the Joker gang in this was amazing too. Were they wearing all the costumes?
So that's it, huh? We're the patsies. We're some kind of suicide squad.
Let's go save the world.
Epic.
Everyone has a Batman mask.
Hope you got me.
Oh, that was crazy.
Know what they say about the crazy ones?
Huh?
This scene right here, man.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
See, like, what's wrong with that Joker? What is wrong with that Joker?
There's nothing wrong with that Joker, man. It was just that's not what we got, man. That's not what we got.
I mean, I really want to see the the director's cut.
You know what? Shout out to old school DVDs, man. Back when companies had the ability and the balls to give us what we wanted. You're looking for the Joker teaser trailer right there.
The one on top, right?
No. Down. No, not the final trailer. Underneath the movie banner there. The one where he's looking up in the sky. No, over here, or looking up in the sky.
Wait, this.
Yeah.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face.
Right, the mother fault line. I forgot that. Is it F no, F back?
She told me I had a purpose.
For Twinkie back.
To bring laughter and joy to the world. Hey, stop them!
Oh, it's tough being a bitch.
Is it just me?
Pause it real quick. There is now, under the backdrop of Joker being an evil spirit, man, there are parts of this trailer where I actually thought that was the direction they were going in, because it just looks like he's stepping into the madness. And yeah,
look at this.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I still to this day, like, I'm like, I don't think that's physically possible. How is his arm like that?
That's just Joaquin. He's got a hair lip.
Fucking
and
creepy as all shit, man. Jesus.
Or is it getting crazier out there?
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
What?
If you smile to your fear and sorrow, smile. And maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile.
What's so funny?
Just
Freak!
Gotham has lost its way. What kind of coward would do something that cold-blooded? Someone who hides behind a mask.
I hate when he does it with fun.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a comedy.
you just smile.
Bro, now that I think about it, watching that, man, that's the candidacy. That is the promo reel I want to see from Trump. Like, just fuck it at this point.
I was just thinking that. I was like, he's like Donald Trump with his swagger. Like,
like at this point, they shot my ear off. I'm scared of nothing, man. Looking forward to the sequel, man. Looking forward to this more than the Gunverse, but we'll see.
This trailer did remind me that I really did like the first Joker. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I was all coming back. I was like, yeah, that really was a good movie.
Yeah, man. I went to go see it. With shout out to Zach from Talking with a Dad, man. We went to go see it, and he's not a comic book guy at all. And even he walked out of the movie theater, and he hates everything. Matt, Zach can compete with you on that level, and he loved that movie, man.
Wait, he walks out of comic book movies?
No, he didn't walk out of a comic book movie. I'm saying he walked out of that movie and he was just in love with it. He was like,
okay. Are you saying
he hates comic book movies, but he was like, this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. So yeah, shout out to them, man. Looking forward to see what they do in the sequel. It's gonna be kind of hard to sit through a musical, to be honest with you, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be really rough.
That's another problem of things that are going on is that they're doing more and more musicals. However, they think they can be clever and hide it from the audience.
Yeah.
And so there are people who all went to the new Willy Wonka and they had no idea it was a musical. The trailer doesn't indicate that it's a musical in any way.
It doesn't surprise me that Willy Wonka's a musical, though. You know, it's got to be
right, but still, you should warn motherfuckers. Like, you know, you give me a heads up, man. You know,
this is from growing up.
The trailer is for to give you a heads up about the movie.
This is from growing up in New York, man. If a girl told me to meet her at a movie at Lincoln Center, I was like, ugh. Like, what's about to happen?
Ultimately, here's what it is. I can't wait. I am looking forward to getting out of this phase of both Marvel and superhero movies where they're just sucking and they annoy me. They annoy me more than they do their job of entertaining me.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, unfortunately, Agatha all along, and I have a feeling the Thunderbolts is gonna suck.
Yeah. I mean, it's a desperate attempt at the Suicide Squad. It is literally Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Right.
I will admit, though, in the comics, Thunderbolts during the Dark Reign, when they became the Dark Avengers or just the Avengers, I really enjoyed that, man. There's a great part of the comic where they fight I forget King Arthur's sister's name, the evil witch, the one.
Oh yeah, Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, they fight her and she kills Sentry. And so, you know, Sentry's a huge part of Osborn's plan, but in a way, he's kind of relieved that wild card is off the table, right? He doesn't have to deal with Sentry turning into the Void, and they go back to the Avengers Tower, and who's floating there? And there's this great still of Norman Osborn just like realizing that like the Sentry's a real fucking problem.
Unkillable, yeah. And so you heard what happened basically, right?
What?
So the guy who the Asian short twink from Walking Dead got cast as Sentry, and so that's insane. If you know the comic book character and then you know him, it makes literally sense. And don't get me wrong, I love Steven Yeun. He does the voice of Invincible. He is a great actor. I love him. He's just not the right fit for Invincible.
For a blonde hair, towering white man. Yeah, no, I would say he's not the right pick.
And so he quit. He quit the thing. He's like, I can't do it anymore. And so when he did it, they decided to cast Sentry not as one actor, but 3 actors. And they're going to have, every time Sentry has like a different personality, they're going to have a different actor portraying him. And I was like,
I'm not into
this
it at all.
Just sounds like a stupid.
Can I ask a question though, man? What if I'm a producer, right? I'm a producer, the guy who's putting money into the movie, and you tell me that there's a large contingency of fans who pay for my product that really want to see one actor play it, and you say that's Henry Cavill, would you not make that happen? Like, would you not make that happen?
I agree. Supposedly he has been hired, or he's at least in talks with Kevin Feige to play a particular character. Who that character is, we don't know.
Yeah.
Supposedly, My Time to Shine on Twitter claims that they're like, you'll never believe who Henry Cavill is being cast as, and I'm like, that does nothing for me. Give me something, bitch. Who knows? I would like to see him in the MCU.
Yeah.
And because I have negative faith in James Gunn's like DC universe. Yeah. There's effectively only one company making comic book material, and that is Marvel. And then Amazon Prime has The Boys, but that's really a different subgenre, right? That's not really superheroes.
And they have the Invincible universe, but that's animated, so it doesn't really stack up against live action. Yeah.
Right, but I would really like to see Henry Cavill play somebody. Look at the dude. He was meant to play somebody.
Bro, I'm still looking forward to see if he plays McLeod in the Highlander movie, Connor McLeod or Duncan McLeod, man. I'd go with either one, man. Shout out to the Highlander TV shows.
I would love to see some Highlander come on. Just like supposedly he's gonna do what's that? Is it Warcraft?
Yeah. Not Warcraft. What is this crazy shit? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with these face Nazis.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever it is, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Warhammer. I hope it actually manifests.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because I'm sick of another thing I'm sick of in the industry is people declaring they're like, we're gonna make a blah 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 movie or show, and it never materializes.
Yeah. That is the absolute worst, man. You have a video for us tonight, man. I know we've touched on Trump and Kamala, not physically, because we've never put our hands on anyone without any consent. No, we didn't touch him.
Speaking of wokey McWoke snacks, no, I'll tell you, I put my hands on everybody. No consent needed. And so. It's funny that we keep dipping back to politics. I have to say, our political landscape right now is so wild, we can't not.
No, it's
all
impossible.
over the place. There's just constant, and so I understand why we keep judging between entertainment and then we just like jump over to politics. And I'm sorry to be so jarring with you guys, but there's another story that I wanted to cover about this. And so, if you notice, a lot of people are happy or claiming that it's happy times that Kamala Harris has the ticket run, right?
Right.
And so somebody did a live stream the other day when it happened, proving that is not actually true. That basically the mainstream, or should I say lamestream media, is not covering it all. Lowe says modern politics is more entertaining than Marvel right now. It really is. It absolutely really is.
Yeah.
And so
while you're queuing that up, we do have at some point, man, briefly address the fact hashtag never Kamala with the black women bots all over X right now. That shit's wild.
I mean, you're gonna see that stuff everywhere. Like that's not new, because on both sides, like the bots come out, and the bots, against Trump, there's always some nerd who's just like, I'm a liberal. I'm like, you've only existed on Twitter for 5 minutes, and they're like, I'm a liberal, and Trump is bad because he's bad for the environment or some shit. And so, the people attacking Kamala are these AI generated images.
Right.
For profile pictures, women who have only had accounts for a day or two, and they apparently hate Kamala, and they're just talking about it. So, I really do wish both Twitter and all these social media things, they really need to do something about
bots. 100%. Like 100%. You can't trust shit when the robot's around, man. But when the robots come out, take over, I do want the robots to know that, hey, I'm a fan of you. Like, don't kill me. Kill Mantis.
The other day, there was an episode of The Boys where, just to prove that people are sycophants, he looks at A-Train and he goes, no, he looks at the Deep and he says, Deep. He goes, suck off, A-Train. And they're both like, what? And he's like, you heard me. That's a command. And he goes to do it. And he stops him. He's like, I just want to see if you losers would do it. I'm going to tell you, when the robots take over, I'm not sucking any robot cock. I will be vaporized. I do not fucking care. You robots can suck yourselves off. Not going to happen.
Amazing.
But, so right now I'm not starting this at the start of her thing. We're starting at minute 7. And why are we starting at minute 7? It's because Brett Cooper has a little video for us. Certain person did a live stream the night Kamala announced it's AOC, and AOC had some interesting things to say.
I saw this.
Let's take a look.
And when she asked about these potential legal dangers of doing this less than a month from the DNC, they had no response. Just watch.
I'm going to say what a lot of these folks aren't saying.
I have not watched an AOC live stream in such a long time. Is she drunk every single night? Literally. Put down the wine or the weed. I don't know what you're doing, but it's like nobody can get through a complete sentence in this party.
If you think that there is consensus among the people who want Joe Biden to leave,
she's definitely
that Kamala, that they will support Kamala, Vice President Harris, you would be mistaken. A lot of them are not just interested in removing the president. They are interested in removing the whole ticket.
So obviously, not everyone wanted Kamala. And then she said this.
I have stood up in rooms of folks making these decisions, and I have raised these questions, and no one had an answer for me.
So obviously, they had been talking about this. This was not just speculation. This was not just voters putting pressure on them. They had been discussing this at a serious level. There was infighting. Later on in the live stream, AOC said, my voters cannot afford another Trump presidency. We cannot afford for Democrats to be this reckless and replace Biden so close to the DNC. This is ridiculous. It's all the elites. She literally said the elites. She said these are the elites trying to replace Biden. And again, this was 2 weeks ago. But now they obviously have. Maybe they came to a...
Yeah, and so... What are your thoughts about this? So it seems, a quick scan of it, seems like it's legit. She's the VP. He's the P. He says, I can't go on. I'm too old. I'm too senile. I'm bowing out. Shouldn't the VP immediately get the pick?
Well, I mean, in regards to their campaign funds, legally, it couldn't go to anyone else but Kamala Harris.
That's one of the reasons why they really want her, because legally, basically, it's to stop these types of shenanigans where like they donate to one person and some other person gets the money. Basically, it has to be the ticket that was donated. So it's either she uses it or he uses it or both.
Right.
But it can't be like if she walks away. The $100 million she just raised, she cannot give to Gavin Newsom or whoever the fuck is going to take her spot.
Yeah, the war chest. But here's my point, and it's really short for the sake of brevity. He was not removed because of a public outcry from the people, right? He was not removed because of a public outcry from the people who voted him in. He was removed because of, and I'm not a deep state guy, but I do think there's something there. He was removed because of power brokers and power and impactful and influential people within the Democratic Party said we were not going to donate any further to a campaign that was not going to survive. He was removed because of pressures happening in the background. He was removed not by the will of the people, right? Which is as anti-democratic as you can be. And even though AOC might be a little tipsy here, I think she spits bars through this entire thing because I do believe they wanted to remove the entire ticket. But the problem with that is you had a way to do it legally and above board, and that should have been the primary, right? If there was someone that wanted to run, even if it was RFK, who I know is a psychopath or appears to be a psychopath, or I don't know what's going on.
He's a weird dude, that's for sure. He is a weird dude.
But that's when it was supposed to be done. So nothing that's said here, I disagree with, man. I do believe that there was a power struggle within the DNC, man, and Biden, who had been forced into becoming a president, was now forced to be removed from running.
You're cooking right now. You're cooking.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, man. Powerful people got together and said, "You're done," and then he got COVID, and then he went away.
So it's so funny because the problem with a man's ego. I'm gonna put you women on to how men work. What it is he didn't want to run at first. They were like, "You're the only one who people will trust. You have to run." And once he had the keys to the kingdom, you don't want to give it up.
Right.
Here's what it is. You don't want, and I think Van Jones actually made this analogy. It's like taking grandpa's keys away, telling him he can't drive anymore.
Right.
It's like what most grandfathers are like, fuck that, I'm fine. I went shopping just the other day.
Fight me for the keys.
Fight me. I'm still a man. Because what it is men link their able-bodiedness to their worth.
Right.
Which is they're not wrong when they think that. This is how it is. Women will say that's not true. That's not true. Able-bodiedness is absolutely a man trait. And so like if I was like, I'm lazy and I can't lift things. Every woman I've ever known would have no use for me.
Welcome in, RM. RM says, remember when Trump said that Elon would drop to his knees for him if he wanted him to? Good times.
Once again, they always conflate the argument. As soon as we're trashing on one person, and the person's like, "Well, let's change the topic to Trump." This isn't about Trump. Biden was removed. He was going to lose. Yeah, he was going to lose. But what people's argument is nobody voted for Kamala
Harris
to have the presidency.
Well, the narrative is shifted, man, because now they're all rallying around her. And by they, I mean even constituents, man. People are, hashtag for Kamala. I'm with her is doing fairly well on dead websites or dead social media platforms like Facebook. And it's happening.
Look at that jab. Poor Zuckerberg. Fuck you, sucks.
People like the spin is happening, and it's just what the drones want, man. No one they wanted to be outraged after his performance at the debates, but they didn't want to think too deeply about it. They didn't want to push too hard for a primary. And now we got people like The View, the wenches over at The View pressuring people into saying, we just got to beat Trump. That's got to be the number one thing. No, I thought democracy was the number one thing, man. There had to be a better candidate. And if there was an opportunity for a better candidate, that's what should have happened, bro.
Yeah, they should have at least had a chance to present their case.
Exactly.
Although I do think Republicans are going a little hard. They're like, look how undemocratic this is. This is it's not an outrage. I admit, it's shady. But it's not like a total you know what I'm saying? It's not like a total outrage.
It's not anything we haven't seen in American politics. Well, I mean, this is unprecedented for a president to be unprecedented. But
this is the first time. Right? I think this might be the first time in history that somebody stepped down and was like, I'm not going to run. And it's clear he was forced. It was clear he was forced into it.
Wait, but let me hear what this young snowflake has to say.
To a consensus, or maybe their hand was forced. But AOC's tune has certainly changed. She deleted her live stream on Saturday before the news broke, and then she posted this yesterday, right after the announcement. Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. I pledge my full support to ensure her victory in November. Now more than ever, it is crucial that our party and country swiftly unite to defeat Donald Trump and the threat to American democracy. That is ironic, AOC. Very ironic. I mean, look at her. Just being a good little party member and falling exactly into line with their narrative. So why did they do this? I mean, it could be that Biden was actually putting his foot down, that Jill was putting her foot down and refusing to withdraw until he saw Trump, survive an assassination, until he saw Hulk Hogan rip his shirt off at the RNC. But it could also be that this was strategic and that they had been planning this for a while, which is what many people online believe. And the argument for that theory is that the establishment Democrats might not have thought that they could run somebody like Kamala in the primaries and beat candidates like RFK Jr. or Marianne Williamson, who people really, really loved, who were not traditional Democrats. So they waited until they could get Biden out and literally place somebody in the running, and voters would not have any say. They waited until they could put somebody in who is also desperate for power and influence, who will literally get on her knees for power and influence, and who is easy to control. I mean, maybe that's why George Soros' son, Alex, immediately...
Have you noticed how often the right wants to try to make Kamala look like a sex worker?
Well, I mean, it's because of the old school hip hop shots with her and Montel Williams and shit like that.
Williams,
she's hanging out with like the old school black fixer from back in the days. Have you ever seen a picture of her floating around with some bald fellow at like dinners? Apparently, this guy was like just the real Ray Donovan, but black. You know what I'm saying? And then Kamala's booed up with him and shit like that, man. It's crazy, bro.
But they were really trying to implant that in our heads, and she's trying to be slick too.
Yeah,
she says it like that, right? Because she's not clearly like, she's like, I'm not accusing her of being a hoe. I'm just implying it strongly. She's on her knees.
Well, Courtney
endorsed her. It's time for us all to unite around Kamala Harris and beat Donald Trump.
No, go ahead. Listen, who's right?
Is the best and most qualified candidate we have. That's literally laughable. Long live the American dream. Kamala being on her knees is the American dream. Please.
Again.
The first female vice president getting elected literally only because she is a woman and a woman of color. That is not the American dream. That is DEI. Thank you very much, Alex.
RM says, I mentioned that when you were talking about the voice.
Now, you know who actually had fabulous takes over the last 24 hours? Dave Portnoy, because he was talking about all of this. And yes, that is very unconventional. And no, he is not some political pundit, but he was spot on. So he first posted a video talking about the breaking news, but then he followed it up with these tweets. He said, "There is no way Kamala would have been the nominee if Joe Biden dropped out before the Democratic primary and had to run versus other candidates. The people who control Joe also control Kamala and just subverted democracy with pure election fraud and theft." 2020 all over again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And then he said, "It also doesn't really matter if it's Kamala, Newsom, Whitmer, etc. The point is the same. A small select group of people decided that they get to handpick the presidential candidate rather than have the people vote for the candidate. It is insane and calculated." That is completely spot on.
So before I go any further on her thing, I will say this. Here's why I don't like their conspiracy theory. It's good. It checks all the boxes. It hits off. It has some truth to it. The problem is, I assure you, the Democratic elites did not want Kamala to be their candidate.
No, and that's what he's saying. Like and then the people didn't want Kamala to be there.
The people didn't want to. The Democratic establishment didn't want to. I'm sure they wish they could pass her over, but you can't pass her over. She's the VP, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, you could have passed her over if people had the opportunity to actually vote on this shit. Yeah. They fucking had. If people had the opportunity to fucking vote, man.
He says, Rika says, "I swear Dave Poitner just walks around New York eating pizza." I think that is what he did his whole career.
Commented and said, 100%, democracy is on the ticket. Ha ha ha. Yeah, maybe they'll stop saying that Trump is the threat to democracy and start looking inward. Maybe have some self-reflection about their actions. That could.
Well, I'm saying it's funny that she's saying this right now because her words are very true because it's funny that the party that says Trump is a threat to democracy literally tried to sue and charge him with charge him with things they didn't have evidence for, and do lawfare against him to silence him from running for president.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting the Republicans choose who they want. And so obviously the Democratic Party is not very democratic. They don't really actually believe in democracy. And this is just another example of it.
Not at all. And again, like I said, had there been a primary, and like Pizza Man just said, there would have been no way she would have been the person they picked. No, I mean, she does have a strong following within the black female voting base, or it appears so. We'll see, man.
So Arm says Montel Williams has been fighting against people trying to attack Kamala using him. He threatened to sue a t-shirt company that made a t-shirt that said Montel's side piece. That's funny though. You have to admit that's funny.
That's hilarious. Also, I just want to celebrate that I finally figured out how to enable the chat over on Kick. So for those of you over at Kick that have been trying to talk,
has it not been enabled?
No, I've been trying to figure it out for like 8 months, and then I look and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Well, anyone who's watching on Kick, thank you for participating despite the fact that we had a disabled chat.
It'd be really nice. The Democratic Party needs to go to therapy, obviously. Now, not only does this have implications for Trump and his campaign, but it obviously also impacts RFK Jr. and his independent ticket, and he gave even more perspective on how this was.
I'm just going to say it right now, although I try to be apolitical, we all know RFK is a psychopath. A worm ate part of his brain, and he sounds like a fucking Muppet when he talks. I don't want him to be anybody's candidate, so... The fact that she's shilling for him, I don't know. I don't know, Brett. What's wrong with you?
Likely very, very calculated. Just listen.
Yeah, I think it was a strategic mistake by the Democrats, Jesse. They changed 60 different rules to make it impossible for anybody to challenge Joe Biden. And then they shut down the Florida primary. They shut down a bunch of primaries and just said, we're not running them.
I mean, they were terrified of RFK Jr. That is why he started running as an independent. He switched over to the independent ticket because they pushed him out.
And so Lowe says the irony of the Democratic Party is that they still do not understand why Trump is popular. It's not about Trump himself. It's because a giant middle finger to the modern left. And so that's why I support Trump for two major reasons. And so one of the trust me, guys, I know you guys are like, Mantis, you're such a hypocrite. How dare you follow this dude? There's two major reasons, and one of them is that he's sticking it to the political class, the political elite of class.
Right.
And they don't like him because he's not part of them. And they're like, how dare you, sir? Well, the political elite shall rule. And then he's like, no, I'm just some poor billionaire from New York who's had nothing but hardships. And I will. It's so funny that they're so. Here's what should blow your minds, guys. He's like, he's a billionaire from New York City. And that's not elite enough to be in their club. That's what pricks these people are.
Well,
That's
here's
what
the
we're
thing.
dealing with, like real fucking cocksuckers.
Well, here's the thing, man. We do have to be honest. Trump has always been labeled as a grifter, right? He's always been labeled as, kind of a flim-flammery, slippery, double-dealing type of guy.
Right,
He's got the checker jacket on. Trump is in the world of WASP and old money. He's that guy that sold Stan crack in American Dad. Like, that's who they see him as. Like, he's invited to all the dinner parties. It's just like, hey, hide the good silverware. Trump's coming over. That's what it is, bro. 100%.
Ayo, the more they do silence him, the more people relate to him because it's about how the left exactly. And so the more they try to silence him, he looks like he's railroaded in the courts. Even if he was guilty or not, they laid it on so thick that they look like the criminals.
Right. I do agree with Lowe's first statement. He is a big fuck you. That has always been the core piece of his popularity, is people see him as an anti-establishment guy, which is a bit of an oxymoron, but that's how people view him. And that's all that matters for his base, right, is how they view him. Doesn't matter what he says. It's how they view him. That's what's going to get him the election.
And you know how I said there were two major reasons why I will vote for him. And so the first one was that he's sticking it to the political elite. The other reason ultimately is, as a Christian, I have to, even though he speaks not like a Christian, he has not tamed his tongue. He's very rude. He's very disrespectful. There's probably a million Bible passages that can condemn him. The thing is that he is less likely to create or pass a law that will oppress or hinder Christians. And that's why I have to vote for him.
You know what? I understand that. I understand that, and I do think that he has done some things to cozy up and to the Christian populace or the Christian base, man. And I have to agree with that sentiment right there. For a certain point, I was like, he might be the only thing stopping insanity from taking over, right? He's a check and a balance to what we saw became just outright insanity. And this is my huge problem with the left, man. Like, inclusivity does not mean dominance, right? And if people have fundamental rights to exist, and I don't mean to be affirmed, let me just make that clear right now, just to exist without being dragged out into the streets or hell, thrown off the top of a building, civil rights wise, I say you're doing pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I say you're doing pretty.
I live in a country where they don't throw me off of a building because of what I believe is the best step. Remember that first step? No, it's the best step. You're doing real good if you're in that situation, because there's plenty of countries that don't follow that.
Bro, it's like I said, man, on Facebook, the dying platform, man, my algorithm is such that I never get presented with happy videos. It's either culture war shit or starving children. And I just want to point something out, man. I saw a heartbreaking video of what appears to be some missionaries in some part of the continent of Africa feeding a young blind child whose eyes are pouring with liquid, either because of his blindness and his illness or because someone was giving him food in liquids, right? And here we exist in America where you can have the nerve to say that I am being impeded upon. Someone is lording over me right after you walked out of fucking Starbucks and got a fucking drink, right? If you can protest and then go get a crepe, your situation might not be that fucking bad, bro. Like, it might not. Have you ever thought about the idiocy of it all? Yes, protests, civil gatherings, all that stuff is great. But if you are not in a situation where the Gestapo can kick your door in after doing a 2-hour live condemning white men who I'm not making any special allowances for, you might be living in a country that's worth saving.
Right. And it's funny. They're like, we hate America. We want to burn the flag. I hate this place. This is the only country where you can say that. If this country falls, it's dominated by someone else, or you have to go to another country, you will not be able to say that or express that feeling about that new country ever.
Bro, listen, man, we were talking about Amanda Seales, and I have no beef with Amanda Seales as a human being. I would never wish harm upon her. I would never
want to fight her.
I would never want to see her door kicked in, right? But here's the deal, right, man? You live in a country where you are allowed to be someone of an affluent status and to pontificate upon political ideologies and policies and not have your door kicked in, be raped, right, for your beliefs, beheaded, or any of those things. And I think if we could just lean into that and celebrate the liberties we do have, and then, I don't know, fucking shift in how we can make this country better for everyone working together. I know it sounds real kindergarten. I have a dream, lift every voice and sing of me to say this shit, but you are fucking living in a place where there is exactly 275 Starbucks in your immediate vicinity, right? You're fucking living in a place where we can drone on about the MCU and wokeness and fucking
where people's biggest problem is whether the latest Star Wars Disney Plus series is canonically accurate. When meanwhile there are countries where 8-year-olds have to pick up AK-47s and fight a war. It's insane. It's totally funny.
And I'm not
we are really in clown world.
But I'm not saying it's perfect. Like, for instance, right? The woman that was killed recently by the police who went into her house, she was suffering from some type of mental episode.
She was schizophrenic or whatever. I saw that with the boiling water thing.
And she was shot. That cop has been fired. And by all accounts, according to them, quote unquote, he will never have a job as a police officer again. And now he has to face a grand jury. I'm not saying that America's fucking perfect, man. But I also am not in the habit of spitting on anyone's face that shared the last name of mine 60 some odd years ago, where it was a very high likelihood that your high yellow ass and my brown ass could have been fucking hung for saying any of the shit we said. Right?
Yes, right. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny that you brought her up, because I have to say, I'm going to say this on Twitter. When I see all these shootings, shooting reports, I would honestly say 90% of the time I say it's a clean shooting. I was like, this is a good shooting. This is a good shooting. And I watched it. I was expecting it to be a clean shooting. And when I saw it, I was like, well, that's just fucked up.
Yes,
what's wrong with this dude?
Bro, he had every opportunity to defuse that situation again. But
a million different ways.
Let me beat someone else to the argument, right? Steve, you don't know how you would respond in the situation. Exactly. That's why I never became a police officer. I never felt a high calling to be put in situations to diffuse things like that. But here's one thing I would hope that I would have the bravery to do. I would hope that if there's a building with a guy with a gun with babies inside of it, I'd have the balls to take a slug to the mug and not fucking stand outside and watch parents run inside and grab their children. I would hope that I would have the mental wherewithal when dealing with an escalated, mentally ill person. My gun would not be the response to the scalding hot water, which can do a great deal of damage. But are you not trained for these things? Are you not in a higher calling? And hell, don't you have a taser? I mean, what's the fucking taser for? Is it only for motherfuckers with their hands on the back of a car? What? Can't you step back? How far can she throw the water, bro? It dissipates.
Honestly, if you had, let's say you had, even had your gun, I mean, we could go on this, but like, if you've had your gun out, just shooting in the air would probably make that bitch back down.
Yeah, you be
I mean, like, just be like, you discharge elsewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but the point is, we live in a great country. Yeah. These damn hippies Here, I'm old manning it right now. These damn fucking hippies want to destroy this country, and they don't want to think this country is great.
But it's I'd hate to say it's not just the hippies, man. It's the interest, the private interest, the powers that be that would much rather, and I think laziness on all Americans' parts, us included, that would rather not live to the highest ideal of this country, because then it's like, oh shit, I might have to take a look at myself. I fundamentally think that's the problem with America. Like, if you got both sides to take a good deep look at themselves, like, for instance, if you got all parties involved to say, do we really need drag queens in the school? like what education?
Right. I think of myself as an open-minded motherfucker. Do we have to invite drag queens to actually engage with children? Is that actually something we need to be doing when there's so many other issues we could be spending money on our time on, right? Like, couldn't anyone read them a story? Couldn't someone in their local community be doing it? And we're importing drag queens. That's my question, and that's why I can't vote Democrat anymore.
Oh,
that is the exact thing, because they support this. Lowe says, during the Obama administration, the norm was to call everyone racist, sexist, bigoted to silence people. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about Obama administration, but I'll tell you, to this day, that still happens. That is the main way they silence you. Mantis Trump 2024. Yeah, honestly, Trump should be my running mate. I should be the president. I would whoop Kamala Harris in a debate. I will tell you that.
She's not hard. She is a cackling, laughing person. It does kind of warm my heart that her response to everything is like, she's just,
you know what I actually like? Here's what it is. I don't agree with her politics, but I kind of like her because she's like that. I like that she's a cringe 50-year-old woman. You know?
Yeah.
But she's laughing all the time, and she's like, she's drinking Pinot Noir in the middle of the day.
She's wearing faux Timbs. You know what's crazy too? Who was it? Was it Lowe that said during the Obama administration it was everything sexist? Yeah, so let me get on the conservatives for a second. If the conservatives would not have made that so easy, man. At a certain point, I had a debate with a friend of mine who really believes, great guy, really believes that Obama himself is the reason that there was horrible race relations in the country. And I'm just like, well, that's just, from my vantage point, not true. There's always been horrible race relations in America. I agree with a pastor, and this is just me, by the name of Brian Lorettis, who said, while the civil rights movement did a great job at changing laws, it did a horrible job at changing hearts. And that's the issue we have here. And some of you, when you're burning in hell, right, you're gonna wish that you had a changed heart, man. It's really easy to get to, as a conservative or a Christian, to sit up here and shit on transgender people because they make it easy. They make it very easy. But I do fear that some of you will be in the same place as some of those transgender people that you're condemning because of your heart condition. You know, it's that's just my view. I'll back away from the table there, man. I had a great time.
I mean, well, I'll back down after saying an inflammatory, explosive statement. Which, you know, I kind of agree with that. You know, I don't claim to know who is saved and who is going to hell or anything like that. But I will say, we as a society need to be a little more discerning,
right,
as to who we are letting around our children, but also just being accepting to what things are being accepting to. And so, like, there is a difference between having mercy and love for somebody and accepting what they do.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And so if somebody's like batshit crazy, they are human, having a human experience, and I love them, but they cannot direct traffic. They cannot go near children. They cannot dictate gender policy in our schools.
Right.
And they can't fly a plane. You know. And so the fact that we have eliminated as a society, we've let go of that. We're like, well, you know what? In order to love them, I have to let them do whatever the fuck they want. That is just bizarre. That's your loss.
So it's a loss of society, man. Again, no, like I was saying, man, the conservatives have this one in the bag to wrap up on the Trump thing. You have it in the bag. Know when to win, right? But if you don't start dealing with the crazies, a buddy of mine asked me why I have an issue with conservative people using the term DEI. And I'm going to tell you, Mantis, now hear me carefully. It is because of preconceived prejudice. When certain people say the term DEI, it makes me think about what else they believe, because I've never had a conversation with them about certain things, right? I'm saying this, right? As opposed to that being the thing you lead your campaign with, why not just deal with the fact that the system is corrupt? Because you really are validating a lot of things that the left is saying. Trump campaigned originally on cleaning out the swamp. It's all corrupt, my brother. It's all corrupt. There is corruptness everywhere. Why not just deal with corruption as in its totality? Like, we need to get these old vampires out of the seats of power.
The problem is that they are so embedded. I'll give you an example. The oldest, most decrepit, most disgusting vampire I can think of is Nancy Pelosi. And so she recently left. She recently retired. However, when she was in there, she was stuck in there. The president couldn't even get rid of her. That's how deep her power was. She was like, I'm here and I'm doing what I want, bitch. And there was nothing a president could do. They get newly elected Donald Trump's like, I can't unseat a senator. I can't unseat a congressperson. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? And people just worshipped her, like a vampire, like Dracula. She had, familiars and humans who worship her.
Yeah.
So vampire is a great analogy, by the way. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
What are they to do? And this is also like I would say insurance companies. Oh yeah. Particularly medical insurance companies. Obamacare would be the greatest thing in the world if we could just get rid of insurance companies. The problem is even the president can't get rid of them. They're so embedded in our society.
Yeah.
And they control everything. However, they control it in a bad way. They're not giving back to the people. They're taking from us. They're taking the quality of healthcare away from us.
And here's the thing. Those powers that be, those highfalutin, powerful people just unseated a president.
Yeah, they did.
we
all know a cabal of powerful people, as Brett suggested. She didn't say this, but she suggested that a cabal of powerful people were the ones who were like, Biden, you're done, bro. This bitch is in. And then he tried to speak, and they go, shh. And he's like, but, hillbilly statements, pony soldier this, pony soldier, and they're like, shh. They go, you need to rest. You're tired. You need to rest. Yo, it reminds me of a scene from from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
when Joffrey's flipping out, the boy king is flipping out, and they go, "You're tired. You need to rest."
Yeah.
I'm not tired, and they're like dragging him away. They're dragging the king away.
It's the advisors. I forgot who said it, man, but it really is middle management that rules this world, isn't it? It's just
Vivek said this.
Yeah,
Vivek said, "What is the deep state? It is the middle management of the government, because they don't want to go anywhere. They want to keep having comfortable jobs, and so they control it. They actually control it all, and I love that. I love that thought."
Have you talked about Star Wars theories, AI Star Wars fan film yet? No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay, so I think I know what you're talking about. So before AI was really acceptable, here's what it is. He has a show. It only has 2 episodes called Vader.
Okay.
And so they're animated.
Oh yeah.
They're 3D animated episodes of Vader hunting down Jedis, and the second episode, Mace Windu shows up. And I don't know, there's a lot of controversy. An example is he was going to make episode 3, and then he claimed that the animator he paid ran off his money. So he had a Kickstarter, and people gave him even more money.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying, Roxanne M. If you're talking about the first 2 episodes, it's bad animation. It's not AI.
Is it bad? I actually like
I don't think it's bad. I don't even think it's necessarily bad, but it's not AI. Is his new shit AI? Is that what's going on?
I don't think he has anything new out for it yet, man. I know this though, man. Star Wars theory, man. Keep fighting a good fight, man. World's burning down around
this motherfucker.
World's burning around down by
I'm
the
done
day.
with this motherfucker. He's preventing us from having new shit in Star Wars. Everything's got to be Anakin. He's like sucking Anakin's dick every night. He's got a fucking he probably you know those dildos that are made like precisely from somebody's dick measurements from a mold.
No.
I'm sure he has Christian Hedison's one. I would bet money that motherfucker has that in this house. I would bet money. And he sucks it every night. I am fucking deadly serious. And you know what? I am sure that his faux cum...
I'm not stepping off screen because of what you say. I literally have to pee though.
I made him have to pee that bad. His faux cum is maple syrup because he's a Canadian. Straight up. Mantis knows what's up. That woman was 10 feet away. The water wouldn't even reach him. I agree. It was madness. What was going on? Mafia Princess Nancy is still in Congress. She just stepped down as leader of the party. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, you can't fire these people. They're so embedded. And like, that's the thing. We're not sure who's actually quitting what, where, or who. Yeah, she's not the first one where I was like, didn't this person resign? Like, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's a perfect example. Like, Mitch McConnell supposedly quit, and then I was like, well, isn't he out of Congress? They're like, no, he stepped down as party leader. He's still in I'm like, can anyone get the hell out of here?
Oh, wait. I'm gonna send you a video, man, because whenever this young lady has something to say, I cringe and I'm terrified. But you love her, and I'm gonna send it to you right now. We gotta watch it. This just hot off the press right now, folks. Hot off the press. Give me 1 second. It's in Discord. Last video I sent you. She's like the evil Grace Randolph in regards to her hair and her facial expressions, but
what the fuck? It's Melanie Mack, guys, for those who are interested. As it is, I love her. She's a flawed individual who she's made some errors in life. I'm scared to play her video because she says some crazy shit.
Just play it, man. Don't have no fear. Be bold. Be a Trumpster. Bro, be bold.
Yeah, in the name of Trump. How do I? You know what? I'm gonna download it.
While you're looking that up, man, what is her backstory like? Is she
Melanie Mack?
Yeah. So
Melanie Mack was a party girl, and when I say party girl, I know everyone's thinking a whore, a prostitute. The truth is, I don't know, and she doesn't let us know. We know that she went to rave. She was really into rave. She has all these tattoos and all these things, and she's a good-looking girl. And she was born again. She was like, I'm Christian now.
Okay.
And so she first started off, she was already born again when she started. She started doing video game streams, and now she does like Bible / conservative thought pieces. She... when I say this, everyone's going to be like, why are we watching this? She became super famous when she started... when she did a live stream watching an LGBT positive church burn to the ground.
Oh.
And she was watching it and mocking it. And then she said, God, she kept saying, God will not be mocked. God will not be mocked.
Oh.
She's hardcore. She's super hardcore. And then after that, she graduated to using the F slur.
Oh yeah.
And so she says it in her live stream. She said it in her stream. She's often, YouTube often cancels her or takes her, whatever the fuck it is. You know, a lot of these apps hate her because she is dropping F-bombs. And I don't mean classical F-bombs. I mean, like, I hate gays F-bombs. And so she thinks it's totally fine to be this way. She's unapologetic. It's kind of badass. So let's see what this chick has to say. On this new one. She doesn't look amazing in this
If you're
video.
a man and you vote for a woman to be president, you're a faggot.
So if the copyright strikes we're gonna get for this video weren't enough, we now have her saying what she just said. What do you think of that?
Obviously that is the dumbest shit ever, but it's wild, man. Because okay, first and foremost, if she is truly a Christian, she's supposed to use the term sodomite. All right, let's start there.
Right.
Secondly, I think that she is just another clickbaity type of person. I was vibing with her and her Bible passages when she was reading.
She has a second channel. You know, Mel reads the Bible, and I actually do listen to it from time to time.
I'm telling my friend who sent me that. I just played that on stream. Thanks a lot, bud.
If you're a man and you vote for a woman to be president, you're a faggot.
Bro. Here's the thing. All right.
Am I going to hell for laughing?
No, because it's all you can do is laugh at the insanity. Here's the thing. If we juxtapose Melanie against someone else called Gothics, do you know who Gothics is?
I know Gothics. We've played her on the show.
Yeah, we've played
I know
Gothics.
but I knew her before that.
Yeah. So Gothic started off as a Twitch streamer, gamer, and then got into social commentary, got kicked off of Twitch, I believe, for some of her views. I think she's still on there. I'm not sure. But then she got saved, right? And she became a Christian, and she started leaning heavily against this social commentary. And now she's totally like Christian view heavy. Like everything is against the backdrop of what is correct, what is in scripture. And I applaud her for that because her viewership dipped, right? People were coming in to hear her say things like this. And now they're getting the gospel when they go to her channel. This chick, first of all, let's just examine this, right? I've dated women like this before, right? That look in their eye, that craziness.
I love women like this. I gotta say,
man just
loves women like this.
She's obviously, she's a little nutty. She's a little nutty.
I just wish I knew crazy chicks who were into Christianity. Then I wish I could meet someone like her, because instead I meet the opposite ones.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can call my friend who sent this so we can have him just say why.
Get him on air. Well, let's listen to what she has to say real quick.
No, I think that's it.
If you're a man and you vote for a woman to be president, you're a faggot.
What the hell?
I'm sorry. I had to like feel the.
And there's no larger context, man. That is the problem, right? That is the problem with these type of people, man. It's like
RM says, Star Wars Theory just announced a new episode that is definitely AI. DT Dub says, I love her already. God don't like ugly.
100%.
Pokey is laughing his ass off. So
Welcome to the last episode of Fanboy Modeling School. Copyright strikes.
Have you seen her live stream? The live stream that she's famous for, where she's laughing at a church burning.
No,
because it was an LGBT positive. You know, one of those ones who were like, gay marriage is all good, everything's rainbows. We have rainbows here. We're doing all that kind of thing, and it was burning down, and there was like a live news going over it, and she put it on her live stream, and she says, "Look, God will not be mocked. God will not be mocked." And I was like, I'm so turned on right now. I'm so turned on right now.
Yo, she's an absolute, obviously a critical thinker, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's a gem. She's an American gem, man.
DT Dub says, "Love her already, man." Oh my goodness.
Oh, she's. It's hard because we're not supposed to publicly be into her, right? Like, she's a villain, she's bad, she says all these things. She is saying what a lot of people feel,
right?
And so here's what it is. I don't like the F slur,
right?
Because I don't like people bullying or shitting on same-sex attracted people. It's fucked up,
right?
And so what she's doing right now is bullying. However, the other day when I was loose on this very show, I dropped the F slur. But I didn't mean it as a slur. I meant it to be mean to my opponent, right?
Right.
Well, I think still, it doesn't. What I said isn't justified, and what she's saying is not justified.
Yeah, no. It's I mean, I would love her to unpack this, but the point of her releasing it was for the reaction, right? People are gonna get angry about it, they're gonna click about it. Hopefully that's what she wants. They're gonna talk about it. And bro, she just looks absolutely nuts in this fucking shot.
She's so beautiful. I think she's so beautiful.
Oh man.
Are you not into that?
Bro, I have many years clean from this type. But again, Melanie Mac, you know, you have the right to say what you believe. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. She also released a clip where she's responding to some TikToker where they're like, "This is something about protecting white males, and you just want to prove how much you love white males." And she's like, "White males, I love you." And I'm like, "Yeah, there it is. There it is right there." Shaolin says this chick looks insane and sounds you know, it's crazy when it wakes Shaolin back up to the stream.
Shaolin has it like playing low in the background. When he hears something, he perks up, and then he'll type real quick. He'll be like, "That shit was trash" or something, you know what I mean? So it's great to hear from him. Love him. What do I have here? Her reading the Bible. Let's see when she looks a little less crazy and a little more.
She still looks crazy.
Oh, she looks beautiful. That's my queen.
Everyone, welcome back to my Bible reading channel, where my goal is to bring the Word of God to as many people as possible.
Praise God.
So today I will pick up where we left off in Psalm chapter 115. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name goes all the glory, for your unfailing love and faithfulness. Why let the nations say, "Where is their God?" Our God is in the heavens, and he does as he wishes. Their idols are merely things of silver and gold, shaped by human hands. They have mouths but cannot speak, and eyes but cannot see. They have ears but cannot hear, and noses but cannot smell. They have hands but cannot feel, and feet but cannot walk, and throats but cannot make a sound.
Let's stop it right there. And so it's no offense to the Bible, or anything like that, but like, she has been committed to this, and she reads it like all the time. She's got a lot of episodes on that. I don't know, what can I say? Those leaders of ours that are a little more fanatical than us, do we forsake them for popularity, or do we stick with them?
All I know is that. Wait, I'm trying to. Okay, so apparently she unpacks it a little bit more. on X. Let me see here.
Oh, there's more of the video of what she said.
Oh no, there's no more. There's no more. It's just her saying.
RM says she's dipping into Pearly territory. No women should go. She's not Pearly. Pearly's on some other shit.
Oh man, Pearly and Brittany Renner just had it out on their podcast, and
Pearly is like the worst troll ever. And you know what it is? Here's what it is. Pearly doesn't stand for anything. I understand Melanie Mack. She actually really is a Christian. She just Here's what it is. She does not let popular society tell her what she should believe. She lets the Bible tell her what she should believe. And so if she's gained a bigotry against homosexuality, that is from her belief in the Bible.
So people are responding to her on Twitter. Obviously, you got a bunch of people praising, and then one guy by the name of Ryan All Day News Anderson with a blue check that he probably pays for says, happily voted for Tulsi in the last election, and I'm still happy with my fiance for over 10 years. She responded, 10 years and you didn't marry her yet? What are you waiting for? F-bomb.
Oh!
Oh shit.
Here's what it is. I wanted beautiful gothic tattooed bitches to call me out of my shit and call me a faggot more often. Because
wait, I'm sorry, bro. Someone responded, I used to like you, but my God, you've become insufferable. Mission accomplished, I guess. Sounds like something a F word would say. She's completely blacking out on Twitter.
I want her to call me on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and then someone reposted your girl, the Colombian woman with the weak and gay comment, the fake trying to be like Goggins. Anyway, man, it's been another great episode, man.
It has been a great episode. We went a little long. Sorry, guys, about that. But we are living this dream right now. We're having a good ass fucking time. But you know, I gotta point something out about her and about us, and all these things.
My dude,
she was literally calling British cigarettes, and now she's reading the Bible to calm music. I feel like she tried to stab me if I was changing channels and hovered on CNN for too long.
A fact.
So I want to point something out, though.
Go for it.
Because I think you know what's going on with my church, and so because my church is like very like I'm getting nothing out of it, I have joined all these like communities on YouTube, like these YouTube communities of Christian pastors or whatever. And I noticed they fight amongst themselves.
All the time. Yes.
They talk trash about each other, and they're like, so-and-so was unholy. Let me show you the video about it. And like all these things that goes back and forth. And what I noticed is this is one of the things the Bible has once again confirmed for me, and it's clear that no one is truly completely righteous, and we are all flawed in his eyes, right?
Right.
And so we attack each other. We try to get clout above each other. We try to do all these things. And so I am less judgmental of the religiously minded person. And so I cannot find myself to truly judge her, because after all, the acceptance of certain lifestyles is it's a secular and popularist belief.
Yeah, no one's asking you to accept any lifestyles. Here's where the conundrum comes with a character like her.
No, but they want me to set her on fire. They want me to cast her out.
No. But you are called to do one thing as a Christian. If at any point she starts speaking untruths and puts it on the Bible, we're to call her out immediately.
Right. Absolutely. I'm saying she's just a woman who's set in her ways,
but I do disagree with something you said before. You have to distinguish between condemning something based off of your biblical views and then just being you're like being salacious for the sake of being salacious. And here's what I'm saying, because I would say that her biblical, based off of what I've seen, her biblical literacy isn't that deep, but that doesn't make me diminish her walk as a Christian. Right. But she is walking a fine line of, in what spirit are you saying these things? And again, you'll find yourself in the hereafter wondering why Jesus is saying, get away from me, I never knew you. because the prejudice that you think you're allowed to espouse because of your beliefs as a Christian, your heart was far away from God.
I agree with that. That like I don't. Here's what I'm saying. I don't think her bigotry is good. I don't think.
No. That's not. I see. That's not what I'm doing.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish my thought.
Go for it.
So I don't think her bigotry is good. I just think that through Christ, she will learn a different way. And so I think over time, and I think like she needs to just work on this one issue. However, mainstream society wants me to cast her out. They want me to
100%.
Reject her and say she's false and evil. I'm not going to do that.
100%. 100%. Why don't you tell the people where they can find us, man?
They can find us on Riz Radio. That's on the Live 365 app. Actually, you know what else? We are getting the most amount of views over on Online Radio Box. We're actually on several apps, not just Live 365. We just love it when people come to Live 365. But you can find us on Online Radio Box. You can find us on Radio Boss. You can find us on Audacity. Odyssey. I'm sorry, Odyssey. And all the like, because that is where our amazing radio station is. Where can they find you, brother?
You know you can find me. Riz Radio, man. RizRadio.com. Come on over. Enjoy it. A good time. Thursday night, Sunday nights. Mic check. Backdrop of hip-hop. Music for the apocalypse and for your breakup as well. So those
We're
two
breaking
things,
up during the apocalypse.
which is going to happen to a lot of you motherfuckers. She's going to leave your ass right when the fucking shit kicks off.
And it's going to be Melanie Mac who does it.
Yeah.
But until next time, guys, ciao for now. This has been an amazing episode.
Peace.
Peace.